Hello and welcome to build up to a good game for the final time this season, as it's Manchester City against West Ham United. Kick-off now in 5 minutes away, which means official lineups are 5 minutes away. However, there's been a false rumour going around. There's a sickness bug in the West Ham camp. That is incorrect. There's only one player missing with tonsillitis. Just Jarrod Bowen. Jarrod Bowen's missing for West Ham today. And there's been a little bit of a switch up by David Moyes in regards to the formation, apparently, but we'll get official confirmation of that in 4 or 5 minutes' time. Gonzo, how is oneself?
Well, intrigued actually about this formation change. A change of emphasis. He's going for it. He's going out fighting. He's going to save his job. How about yourself? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to the afternoon.
Well, you got something planned after the football.
Hey, because we're ninth. No matter what happens, we're ninth. There's absolutely zero repercussions at all. If we win, we win. We enjoy beating Manchester City. If we lose, so what? It's not the end of the world, is it? Kind of thing. So I am just looking forward to it. It feels like, do you know how we were doing a preview and we were saying that we all season has been something to play for, and it has been for seasons now because of the relegation battle, the Conference League, Europa League, etc. Actually, the flip side of that is usually when you go to watch a game, there is a big impact on West Ham. Because you're playing for something, it's like we must win today. But actually, there's none of that today. I'm just kicking back and enjoying the game and hoping we don't get embarrassed, quite frankly.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. I've not been aware of it all day. I heard the tonsillitis stuff just because of our Patreon WhatsApp group. But I do wonder if there's been is there a conspiracy with not with Tottenham, with Arsenal? Are they suggesting that West Ham has a bit of skullduggery going on and we're purposely trying to throw the game? There's got to be some of them saying it, I'm sure.
Maybe Spurs were serving up a lasagna last night that they've been storing for all those years. A little bit of leftover lasagna from back then.
Oh,
Jarrod, you eat it.
Oh, it'd be lovely, marinated and cured now. That E. coli would be lovely on that after all these years.
Yeah. Everyone's got a fresh bit, and a few players have just got this really small, strange-looking bag. Nah, just eat it. Honestly, just eat it. It's fine.
My lasagna look like Stilton. Don't worry.
just eat it. It's fine. Trust me, it's good, kind of thing. Anyway, while you're all here, please do drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new to Hammer Chat as well. We'll get interacting in live chat, usually when myself and Gonzo are not that focused on the match. We tend to get a little bit silly and a little bit interactive, and I think it's fair to suggest that we're not that into the match itself today. We'll be doing a bet giveaway as well, but we'll be quadrupling the stakes since it's the last game of the season. We'll be putting a 20 quid bet on and hopefully winning someone a little bit of money because it's the last game of the season. What would you like to see, Gonzo? Jarrod Bowen's out with tonsillitis. Just for those that have joined late, there's no sickness bug. It's just Jarrod Bowen. What would you like to see?
I don't want to see, which I know is not what you asked. I don't want to see an extended farewell parade. All right, I don't want to see Ogbonna. I don't want to see Cresswell. I want to see some young. I would find it incredibly indulgent. Actually, that was the home game. That's what all that was for. I'd like to see some young players playing. Really, maybe even Maxwell Cornet on there or something else. Maybe when it all mattered, he wasn't giving these players a chance. Maybe he's given all the other players that he wants to remain grateful to. He's given them all a chance. He doesn't need to. About the players that he's stuck on a bench for a long time, maybe give some of them a go. Yeah, I mean, it will just. I'm taken by your face when I'm saying that stuff. It ain't what I say it's going to be. And if that's the case,
I get it. I get why he's done what he's done, though. I personally would have put George Earthy in.
Oh, right. So he clearly hasn't. Yeah, but that's
for Bowen and put Kudus on the right and put Earthy either on the left or in the middle and Paqueta on the other one. That's why I would have done.
So he's obviously gone with James Ward-Prowse, Souček and Alvarez or something like that in the middle.
I did tell you he's changed formation though. So
you did.
There's a clue. There's a clue there. He's changed formation. That's why I would have because it's a free hit. Listen, normally he gets questioned after game. Why have you done this? Why have you done that? Today he does not need to justify anything he does. What's the point? He can say, I don't really care anymore. I'm off. See you later. Same with Klopp at Anfield. There's nothing to justify. There's only a handful of managers today that have to justify what they do on the pitch. And those are the teams that have got something to play for. Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle, those teams, they're the only managers that might have to field questions is why you chose this player over this player, and this is the result it's gained. What have you done? Moyes, there's none of that. He could have played earthly today, and nobody would have batted an eyelid. West Ham fans would have been happy about it, and that was it. That would have been it. So, but no, he hasn't done that. He's decided to change formation. Would you like to know the West Ham team this afternoon?
I guess so. Give it to me one last time.
In goal is Alphonse Areola, and there's a back three or back five, depending how you want to look at it. Let's just look at it as a back five for this one, with Vladimir Soufal as right wing back, and we've got Emerson as left wing back, with three centre backs of Kurt Zouma, Konstantinos Mavropanos, who returns from injury, and Aaron Creswell. In midfield, it depends. We'll guess. We'll work out what he's doing here. Whether he's going 5-3-2 or 5-4-1. But in midfield will be James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Souček, Lucas Paqueta, Mohamed Kudus, and Mikel Antonio up front.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 5-4-1. It's going to be, there's a small chance he might put Kudus upside Antonio, but I think it's going to be a 5-4-1, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Look, I don't want to overly whinge about Moyes. Done enough of it this season. I've only got to suffer a little bit more of it, so it's fine. But you might as well have kicked Ben Johnson in the bollocks, quite frankly, when he handed out that team sheet. While he was going along at it. I look, maybe it'll work. Good luck to him, really. But I mean, that Alvarez thing. There's no reason.
He's on the bench.
Yeah, but there is no reason, particularly when you're swapping formation, particularly when you've lost a player, there is no real reason to leave Alvarez out, apart from what you hear, which is basically he's been digging him out recently. It's just, I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard, Geo. We're here to do a video and all the rest of it, and I'm trying to give my honest opinions. I feel Moyes is quite vindictive. I think he always has been. I think this is a bit more of the same, actually. And you know what? Look, hopefully some of these players get on, and he subs them on and all the rest of it. But you're absolutely right. He would have known full well that starting George Murphy would have been what everybody wants. Apart from the one player who he's put in the team instead of George Murphy. So whether you think that's Souček or Ward-Prowse already, basically thousands wanted George Murphy to play. Possibly two people didn't want him to, and one of them's David Moyes, and one of them is whoever's playing in the team instead of George Murphy.
And I'd argue even Creswell might have preferred George Murphy. Yeah, Creswell might have thought, do I have to, Gaffer? I don't really fancy chasing Phil Foden or Bernardo Silva around in this hot temperature for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I got my farewell last week. I got 2 minutes against Luton. Can I not just end it there? Does this have to be the end of my 10-year stint at West Ham away to Man City?
Getting torn apart. Yeah. So look, Moyes knew the right thing and a decent thing to do. He's chosen not to do it. It's consistent with, but I don't want to dig Moyes out too much any more than that. Really, I'm disappointed to see the team.
It's not much of an issue because Moyes is going. If Moyes was not going in the summer, the Alvarez thing would be a big problem because, like you said, he got hooked against Chelsea at half-time. Moyes got asked after the game, why are you so crap defensively this season? And he said, Declan Rice. So basically, the guy that we brought in is not as good. That guy that I've taken off at half-time, it's kind of his fault. He couldn't say Edson Alvarez, so instead he chose the guy that he replaced and said, well, we don't have Declan Rice, so that's why Declan Rice protected the back four. We don't have that protection anymore. It's clearly a massive indirect slap in the face for Edson Alvarez. Doesn't play against Luton Town. He's not playing again today. He's on the bench, and even though he's on his way out, he's doing it almost like dragging out, saying, I'm still going to have my say, and I'm still going to do what I want before I go, kind of thing. And it's disappointing. In regards to today's team, I mean, I think it's going to be, I say 4-5-1. That's what it's going to look like on paper. But the truth be told, it could easily be like 5-5-0. Antonio will be, well, it is, isn't it?
You're right.
He's not even going to, I was going to say stood on the halfway line. He's not even going to be on the halfway line. He's going to be marking Rodri 10 yards from the halfway line. It could be a bit of a, as I say, watch behind the sofa, but because I'm pretty laid back about the game, I'm not that bothered, to be honest with you.
No.
A lot of these players checked out a few weeks ago. The one I'm interested in, for obvious reasons, almost is Lucas Paqueta. What's he going to do? Is he going to puff his chest out and show Pep what he can do? We'll have to wait and see. But Yeah, there you go. There's your West Ham starting 11.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there'll be, when we look at the bench in a minute, there'll be a number of players on that bench who cannot wait for this all to be over. You know,
there's a number of players in the starting 11 that cannot be.
Yeah, but they're getting picked. You know what I'm saying? Because the ones that aren't, are thinking, do you know what? Thank goodness that manager's going, or I'm going. They'll be, the majority of that bench will just want this season to be over right now. So, yeah, it's definitely, it's quite funny. I feel that's a symbolic lineup. Nothing
I was
quite
literally
draws.
way to say this.
Well, nothing quite draws a line under it and highlights what's wrong quite like that lineup. That's a very, very Moyes. It's a very Moyes thing to do. He's going out on his sword or I always get the sword and the shield thing muddled up. And people always correct me. And by the next time I say it, I get my swords and my shield. Come back on your shield or your sword sticking in you or whatever. He's going out on his own terms, David Moyes, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say this is symbolic of Moyes' whole tenure at West Ham. Literally, the last game of the season, we got nothing to play for, and he still goes to the Etihad and plays 5 at the back with no youngster. And it's just like, this is the type of team he would field if it was match day 18 or something. Go there, try get a draw, try and keep the scoreline respectable. And we're doing it with literally no risk attached to the game. Even this one, he still can't just go, Bowen's out, all right, we'll just put Earpy in. It's just, I don't know. There's been quite a few of these games recently. I think almost sums up Moyes' tenure over 4.5 years. And I think today's another example of that, really, when you just look at it and you just think there's not much. Kudus is the only one that really gives me a little bit of inspiration today. See what he can do up against. I assume it's Gavardio, but we'll find out in a second. The bench for the Hammers this afternoon. Lucas Fabianski's on there as well as Ben Johnson. Edson Alvarez is on the bench. Maxwell Cornet is keeping Danny Ings company alongside George Earthy. Casey's on there after his little appearance last week. Mubama's on there, as is Angelo Ogbonna. So basically, those available are on the bench today. Still no name for Gerd. The mystery continues regarding Gerd. Anyway, that's the West Ham squad for you today. Would you like to know what the Manchester City team is, Gonzo?
Unfortunately, I think we have to.
Right, let's have a little look then. Let me just do a little bit of scrolling. Right, the City team is as follows. Ortega is in goal as Ederson has fractured his eye socket and continued playing for a little period. The defence today is Kyle Walker at right back and captain with Akanji and Diaz in the middle. Gavardiol is left back. Rodri is in centre midfield with Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. Phil Foden on the right, Doku on the left, and Haaland up front.
They're going to win the title, aren't they?
Yeah, there's no messing about. In the last couple of games, he's played Kovacic in there for a little extra protection in midfield. There's none of that today. It's Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne in there alongside Rodri. So,
well, he knows. I mean, he would have known. I mean, he was very complimentary. They've all been very complimentary about one another. Guardiola and Moyes have both said really nice things about one another.
He was lying about Moyes, wasn't he?
Well, exactly. But but he would have known what he was coming back with. And it's like, it's like you made the point earlier, there's everyone knows what Moyes is like. And we got this we all have to sit through this spin and this narrative that he's brilliant. And as you said, well, he'll be getting the Brighton job then, won't he, Moyes? But, I know you said it in jest because there's no way Brighton would appoint him. And, so as nice a things as Guardiola said about him, we know full well, Guardiola knows full well that he can put that team out and attack West Ham because he knows West Ham. He doesn't need the additional defender. Guardiola doesn't, or the additional man in midfield.
He needs to get a lead early as well because they don't want Arsenal scoring first and just nerves creeping into the home crowd today. Because Etihad, listen, we've been as complimentary as we can be Man City last week. It's not the best home ground in the league. So much so that you'll often see Pep trying to rile them out. He's dug out his home crowd before. He said, my away fans, incredible. The home ones, not so much. Like, come on, what's going on? It's make some noise kind of thing. And so there will be a little bit of nerves. And I spoke to Nigel, I know Stephen, I know Lewis, a few other Man City YouTubers and stuff. And I spoke to them this week. They're all nervous. And they're only saying it to me in a private conversation. Nigel was on screen, but Lewis and Stephen were not on air or being recorded. It was just to me, and they said no, like crapping it basically, and going into this game. So there is a lot of nerves and genuine nerves among the Man City fans today, understandably. title is up for grabs, but I think they need to get off to a quick start. And yeah, that's definitely a starting 11 that reflects that they're going to try and get off to a quick start. The bench for City this afternoon, in case things start going wrong and Moyes goes 1-0 up against Pep Guardiola. The bench is as follows. Carson, yes, that one. Scott Carson's on the bench, as well as John Stones and Nathan Ake. Kovacic is on there alongside Grealish and Alvarez, the player David Moyes did not want. And they've also got Bob, Lewis and Nunez on the bench today for Manchester City. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, the Stone for any England supporters out there, I think the Stones one is really important, actually, that, you know, actually from an England perspective, whilst it doesn't matter, West Ham, we lose 10-0, we finish 9th, we win 7-0, we finish 9th. As an England supporter, I'd really like to see Stones get some minutes, actually, because I think he's pretty crucial to... Look, and anything Southgate can do to get some creativity into any part of his team, at least Stones brings that from a albeit a defensive position. So yeah, Bob is looks a decent player whenever I've seen him. So oh mate, you know, I like Kovacic as well. I think he's a skillful player. He's not had the impact at Man City that maybe I thought he would have had, but he's a good player. Ake's great as well, isn't he? You know, every plays at centre back or wide. Brilliant. You know, just an exceptional team, really.
Right then, we're going to put a little bet on, hopefully win one of you some cash. Before we do, just want to say a massive thank you to NH Hammer for the $10. Says, what happened to City's points deduction? Terrible lineup. Shame, really. Great work this season,
Thanks,
lads.
mate.
Have a great summer. Thank you very much, and to everybody else for joining us so far this season.
Thank you.
And just want to point you in the direction of Match Bingo, who have the Manchester City West Ham game up there, as well as the other 9 Premier League games. But there's a juicy prize pot today. It's £1,000 for the full house, isn't it?
Yes, 2,075 the whole prize pot.
Yeah,
£1,000 for the full house. Yeah.
So there you go. Download the app via the link in the description below. Please do use that link though, so you know you come from Hammer's Chat. You can sign up. It is £2 per play for the Manchester City West Ham game. Essentially, you get a bingo card with 15 things you need to happen on it, and it could be West Ham to take kickoff, Man City to score a goal, West Ham to hit the crossbar. There's a whole range of things you will need. First line's 25 quid, 2 lines is 50 quid, and first person to get the full house will win £1,000 cash off the £2, and anyone else that gets full house but wasn't first will share the additional pot, as Gonzo said, is also worth £1,000. So £2,075 up for grabs in just the Man City West Ham game. So plenty of winners from Hammer's Chat. Anyway, get involved. Right, Gonzo, what are you fancying
on the bet? Look,
yeah, I think
let's try and win someone some money.
Yeah. So will we just do like Man City to win and just blame the live chat and say that we've just done what the live chat want us to do?
For sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I maybe don't do a score line. No. Do Man City to win and a goal scorer or something like that, you know.
Yeah, we'll need a few things because those are obviously quite short for Man City to win. So
sorry, Jim, can I just say, people are asking, they've come in late. Bowen has got tonsillitis. So just as a lot of people typing it. Jared Bowen's got tonsillitis, not playing.
Do you think they'll be leading at half time? That's something that can get started. Right. But Spitz at 40. I mean, these odds are so tight. Right. Who do you fancy to score then?
I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think outside of the obvious.
Foden or De Bruyne? Do you fancy either of them?
Well, Foden's more likely to score than De Bruyne, I would imagine.
Right, let's put him in.
Reflect that, yeah.
Would you agree if I said Rodri and Gvardiol both have a shot on target?
I think yes. What, are you going both of them?
Yeah.
Go on then. Yeah.
And possibly is a player fouls. Here we go. And
I'm not sure we can blame the live chat anymore because I've picked one, you've picked two. So.
Do a foul to do a foul.
What, on Doku?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he'd be an assault. Never mind a foul.
That'll do. If I was to challenge you, that returns 200 quid. Are we doing two £100 winners or one person to win 200?
One person, £200.
Right. If this bet wins, one person will win £200 cash. We're blaming the following people: James Gunn, Dean Marsh, Troj, Ralph. We're just blaming you. Those 4 are the ones that compiled this bet. Not me and Gonzo. it was me and Gonzo. We're just blaming other people. But if this bet wins, one of you will win 200 quid. Man City to be leading at half-time and full-time. Phil Foden scored a goal. Rodri and Gavardi all to have a shot on target each, and Sufal to commit a foul. I quite like that bet, actually. Gonzo has got the phrase. So in the live chat, please, can you put the following phrase?
Silver lining.
Silver lining, get it into the live chat and you'll be entered. And if the bet wins, one of you will win 200 quid. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, before I get Gonzo's thoughts, thank you to Lewis.
Thanks, Lewis.
Tom, because they both basically paid
Tom.
for the bet. Lewis says, a little thank you for the hard work and content this season. Never been so excited to see a Premier League campaign come to an end, in all honesty. And Tom says, thanks for great performance this season by all the team at Hamish Chat. Thank you very much to the both of you. And there you go. There's silver lining from Jim. Get that into the live chat. And you've entered. Also, if you are a patron now, and this isn't to plug Patreon, this is genuinely a heads up for the patrons. This shirt here is up for grabs today in the prediction competition. It's signed by Lucas Paqueta. Go log into Patreon and get your entries into the prediction competition, because regardless of which tier you subscribe to, we have an overall winner. And I think it's quite an easy one. I think there's definitely going to be a winner today. I feel like there's only so many goal scorers and so many correct scores it can be. It's not like when we play, I don't know, we were to play Brentford, it could be West Ham, Brentford. It's difficult to call. But this one, I feel like everybody's very Man City. Get logged in and get your predictions in. Hopefully somebody will win the Lucas Paqueta shirt. Gonzo, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. I just sort of want, I'm going to try and enjoy the game. I was sort of hoping I'd be able to sort of sit back and enjoy the game and see some youngsters. Maybe that'll happen later in the game. Ultimately, I'm not looking forward to massively watching it otherwise. I'm looking forward to it being over in many respects, or whenever in 60, 70 minutes. I think Moyes will throw at least Earthy on, because he's not an idiot. Because you say he's got no questions to ask. That would be one. Yeah. It would be. Oh, David, George Earthy came on, scored a goal for you. Didn't feature today. So he won't want that. So we'll see a little bit of him. And maybe by that time that Earthy comes on, City possibly will have stopped playing by that point. So that would be nice. Ultimately, I'm really, in many respects, whilst I don't like the decision and the lineup. It's sort of rubber stamped it for me. I think had Moyes have gone on to the last 10 games and totally changed the way he did things, attacked more youngsters, given players that are out of form more of a chance, got incorporated corner, you might have been inclined to say, well, hold on a second, what's, is Moyes changing his ways here? What's going on? He might have made it more confusing, if you like, but I think he stuck to his guns. And yeah, he's very much validated for me the reasons why I do want him to go. So it feels like one more game to be endured rather than one more game to be enjoyed.
You can't. I'll be honest with you. You can't really win with me today, Moyes, because if he did change it up a bit, well, where's this been all season, kind of thing, Yeah. Alice, who does Hamish Chat stuff and is part of our team, she said on social media today that. Said we better not turn up today. It's not because I want City to win the league. It's because I'd be questioning where's this been for the second half of the season. You can't just turn up away to City because we might shut up and win in the league, kind of thing. And I keep forgetting about this and keep remembering it. So thank you, Cotters. Says Ward Prowse free kick. He's still not scored a flipping free kick for us.
No. Listen, I'm aware of it. Cotters is aware of it. You're aware of it. The person that's most aware of it is James Ward-Prowse, because you can tell. I tell you what, if James Ward-Prowse had either beaten the Premier League record or he was on 5 free kicks, or he was nowhere near it, there was no pressure on him. It's the old yips. It's all up there.
Yeah. Jeff saying, surprised we've not done a video on the Antonio interview. Maybe he did it. It's coming. The reason being is because it's the end of the season. We keep certain topics because they're timeless. So transfer rumours are not timeless. Any news about Lopetegui and Moyes, that's not timeless. We have to do the news there and then. But the Antonio interview, whether we did it Wednesday, today, 2 weeks' time, it'll possibly perform the same as it, regardless of when you put it up. So we'll do something about it this week. Don't know when it'll be up, but we will. But we have mentioned it over on Patreon. And so mental health is a thing I've spoken about Anton Ferdinand with a bit during this season now and again, and in particular Michail Antonio. because of the rumours regarding, which he's confirmed now, that he has gone through a divorce, and just about how that impacts somebody, and how basically asking Anton how it impacted him going from being like Premier League at West Ham essentially to ending up at St Mirren and then Southend. So his career dipped a little bit, and then everybody wants to know you, then nobody wants to know you and stuff. So we've spoken quite a bit, myself and Anton, about players' mental health and mental well-being kind of thing. So anyway, Charlie says Cresswell not Bono and Emerson, or Bono's not playing, don't worry. Foden, Bernardo. So Charlie's at the game. I will say this, Charlie's in the way end at the Etihad at the minute. It's terrifying. Look forward to celebrating Arsenal's title win in 22nd minute when City go 3-0 up. Paul said it's a shame it's come to this with Moyes. He could have been one of our best ever managers had he adopted a consistent attacking style, and we would have got right behind him. The one thing I will say, that this is why Moyes can't win with me today, because during the week he said, yeah, maybe just people complain about his style, maybe they've got a point. And I was like, all season, whenever somebody's mentioned that, you've gone, but I win games. Who's the one that wins? Who's the one that wins?
I'm an attacking manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just as he's now out the door, he says, actually, yeah, maybe I could have played a little bit better. The football, the style complaints are actually okay. And you think, hang on a minute, this is, I just found it frustrating.
But here's the trouble, Gio, with that. He was lying before. Yeah. He knew he was lying, and we knew he was lying.
Yeah, because
so I don't know why he does it. All he does is when he says this stuff, is he admits he was lying before.
But I think that if he said this before, it would have been a case of, well, go change it then, because you've now confirmed that the style's not good. But instead, he just defended his style, which ironically was better than the actual defending we did during the game of football. But yet now he finally admits that actually his style could be a bit better. It's just, like you said, you've just tripped yourself up here a little bit. Listen, thank you so much to Skizzo, who says, myself, Gonzo, and Bebo, the three West Ham
amigos.
There's a new. If we relaunch the Patreon podcast next season, I think we steal that name.
Yeah, he won't mind. Sketch won't mind. He's a good man. Funny enough, Sketch. A couple of days ago, I was sorting my frames and my pictures out, and that program you sent me, that old retro program, I was trying to fit that in a frame. Basically, something came out of another frame for that to go in it.
It was a ticket.
No, it was an old, very old program, old match day program.
Oh, something came out of the frame.
Yes, it was a photograph of somebody came out of the frame. And I thought, I'm going to use that frame for the West Ham program.
Who came
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, does it? It's not.
It was Moyes, weren't it? It was Moyes. You've taken down your Moyes shrine.
It's got to go, Gio. It's got to go. You've taken
down your Moyes picture.
Yeah, I burnt myself on the candles as well.
And thank you to Sam as well,
Cheers,
the £10 super chat, who says, great job. Thanks for all the entertainment. We're not going anywhere. Listen, we appreciate it. And listen, we'll be here tomorrow.
We'll be here tomorrow.
New season starts tomorrow.
Oh yeah, or later today, whatever.
Tomorrow,
yeah.
Let's go. We're not going anywhere. We're sticking here all summer. Hopefully, you guys aren't going anywhere either. Otherwise,
talking of sticking here.
Brilliant.
It's my laptop screen. Thank you very much. I'm modern.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Do you know what? I forgot to go get it. Will I go get the T-shirt we got this week? Will we show that off?
You crack on. You go and get it.
Yeah, it's just through there, right? You can slag me off because I can't hear you. So
I won't.
I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Yeah, he'll be back in 30 seconds. If you can see in the reflection of his Mark Noble T-shirt there, the bloody state of the place. Honestly, I'm not being funny, right? That's the guest bedroom. No guests can come and stay in his guest bedroom. It's the state of it. You've seen it yourself in the reflection. All right, mate. Just got a T-shirt.
Something about reflection. But anyway, I'm not stooping to you. I'm not stooping to your levels. Right,
you do stoop to my levels.
I do, yeah. I do.
Yeah, thank you, yeah.
Right, we've got 3 T-shirts, right? We're auctioning one off, but we're giving 2 away on Patreon over the summer. This is the plug for Patreon. In July, one of our patrons will win this T-shirt. This T-shirt is match worn by Jared Bowen in a game he scored this season. So this is match worn by Jared Bowen. And in July, one of our patrons will win that just for being a patron. In June, one of our patrons will win this shirt, which is a match worn Aaron Craswell shirt, but I'm going to show you this one because it's a special. It's a rare shirt because it's got the poppy on it. So Craswell wore this one, not this season, I don't think. So that will be one. But however, this one, bear with me.
It's a dirty one.
It is a dirty one. And I'll be honest with you, it still smells like it's
A match day.
Yeah. I'm not going to take it out because it does smell, but it's a real.
Well, they're not going to be able to. What do you mean? You think everyone will smell it and go, "Oh, I've got to get off this stream." Thumbs down.
I might throw up. It stinks, but that's what makes it match worn. But we're going to be auctioning this one off. This one is worn by Mohamed Kudus against Bayer Leverkusen, and you can tell it's match worn because I'll show you this bit. It's filthy. That is mud. It is absolutely filthy. So we're going to be auctioning this one off, and all the proceeds are coming to Hammers Chat. They're not going to charity, just for transparency. It's not going to charity. It's coming to Hammers Chat because we paid a significant fee to get those 3 shirts. So we're trying to recoup as much costs as we can. So somebody will get their hands on a dirty Mohamed Kudus match worn shirt. Lewis says it smells of low block.
It's yeah. Anyway,
patreon.com / Hammers Chat if you want to win the Creswell or Jared Bowen shirts. Right then, Gonzo. I was going to say how you feel. I've already asked that. Well, let's interact with the live chat. Get your thoughts in now, not your score prediction. It could be about West Ham team, Man City team, or just anything to do with the squad because we appreciate there's nobody's that interested in the game that much.
We wish you well, Sketch. We wish you well, my friend. Sketch came over and saw us 2 or 3 seasons ago now. Came over from Ireland. Get well soon, mate. Get well soon.
Like he's been watching just the season. I will be doing live streams over the summer. We will, like I said, we generally we're not going anywhere. This is our job. We need to create content. We will continue to keep on creating content. As Paul saying, please do smash like button. Helps out the video, helps out the channel. Lee says they're getting excited on Sky Sports over Jurgen Klopp, which unsurprising.
I guess we wouldn't know. I don't know. I was going to ask you. You're not watching it either. Just probably a farewell parade. I'm guessing he's not. They can't do anything today, can they? They got a home game, but they're gonna. It's a bit of a funny one. It's all sort of fizzled out a little bit for him, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. 2 Up says I feel like if I'm going to the slaughter. I think everybody's just accepted we're losing. There's not that many, I guess. There's a few people hopeful that we might nick something, but I think the majority accept that we're just turning up. We're going to play our part, which is to stand aside and let Man City to go on and win. Really, Jeff, you are correct. We're definitely 9th, no matter what happens today. Jamie saying Andy Irvine, who is on loan, looks like a good player. What do you think is going on with him, or is going on with him?
Well, he was just signed and sent out on loan, wasn't he? And then I think we didn't hear hardly anything about him all season. Then he had a really good game about a month ago. We've heard lots about him. I think, and I think everyone gets a chance in training. I think it'd be mad not to. And I don't mean that as a loaded comment. It's not. I think you'd give yourself every chance, wouldn't you? So I would expect him to come back. We try and sign. Sometimes we just sign players also without a view to really ever be in the first team. That they might do something, might be able to make a few million on them. He might even be one of those. I just don't know. I think that's possibly certainly the thing with the lads possibly coming in from Arsenal. Whose name is it? Brown. That might be his name. I think he's possibly one of those as well. So I think he's one of those. He's a Haksabanovic, if you know what I mean, Geo. But you never know. I think he might be given a chance.
There's a lot of talk that he might sort of be a payment for a relationship between the 2 clubs, and we would send players on loan there and stuff. But nothing's occurred from it. Just literally nothing's happening. And so, like you said, it would suggest that maybe we have bought him with an eye of, can he do something in the future? But I know he did score a few goals the last week in that, but I do think there's a significant difference between Austrian football and coming into the Premier League. So I'm a bit.
Yeah, so he's not going to get into our first team. You would think not, would you?
I'll be shocked if we ever see him.
We got some talent of our own coming from. I'm not sure we need to do that.
Yeah. Beardy Man said he's been watching us since the first lockdown.
Excellent.
Had a
Thank you, mate.
heartache and was self-isolating. We helped him through it. Well, thank you for sticking with us. We appreciate that a lot.
Thanks,
a
mate.
lot. Is it correct that we always say today Arsenal win the league? Only if Arsenal win. Okay, Arsenal must win and hope we get something against them. Major saying, do you put barbecue sauce on your meat before putting it on the grill or leave it plain?
That's not, I don't. I mean, hold on. I guess a bit binary, Major, old son. Come on, it's not either barbecue sauce or plain, is it? No. I've got a lovely Kentucky seasoning for me chicken that goes on the barbecue. I like a nice mint seasoning on the lamb. I'm not a big fan of barbecue sauce. Not on a pizza, not on anything at all.
I'm a yes. I'm before the barbecue. George says he's not entirely sure what Alvarez has done, but he's comfortable with the Ward Prowse check pivot. Can't say I am, I'll be honest with you. But
no.
I do feel it's going to be very like the mannequin challenge a little bit for our centre midfielders today. They're just going to be stood there watching City pass the ball around, really. I think they're really going to struggle against this Man City team. The movement that Man City will have, Foden will be drifting in from the right-hand side to come central with De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva in there. We're going to try and stifle them and try and beef up middle of the pitch. And I think we're still going to find ourselves getting overrun sometimes in the middle of the park, which is, I don't know, it's just difficult to... Anyway, Five's thinking it's going to be funny if we draw, but Arsenal only draw as well. I mean, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? But,
that would be
us
good.
winning and Everton winning would be
great. Yeah, that's the best scenario. Yes, absolutely.
I've seen a lot of people having a bet. I think it's £5 to win like 1,200 quid if they both. You win over £1,000 if us and Everton win.
Yeah, I mean it's not great. I think my bet's better.
What's your bet?
Oh.
20p on 5 scores to win.
No, actually it was £1. I've actually closed the window down, to be fair. Yeah, it was a good one. I predicted 4 or 5 scores. I think it was £1. And I get £465,000 back if the scores come in.
Can I have the 65,000?
I'll send you away on your honeymoon on a yacht or something like that. I'll do something. I'm not giving you the money. I'm going to do something I would do something lovely worth lots of money for you if I won that money for your wedding. I would.
Could you?
But it would have to be a gift. It would have to be a gift. It'd be a gift.
Well, can you buy me a car with a receipt?
What, for £65,000? Yeah.
You got me. Damn it! I almost had you there. Almost had you. Right then, let's have a little look and see what you're saying. There was a question that was, Apache saying, when will Lopetegui be announced? Do you know? Like, generally, do you know what? I
heard it was going to be 2 weeks after, but I don't know who bloody, who does. I would not surprise me if they did do it really quickly. No, I don't know why. I don't know why. I thought for some reason it would be the 1st of June, but I might be totally wrong.
We'll wait and see. The thing is, I get why they'd wait till the end of the season. I get it, right? Well, I think the reasonings for it, which is it's disrespectful to Moyes, I think that's a bit silly because I think we've already done that part. But just say we're letting the season get overdone with, then we'll announce it. Like that just makes sense, right? So I don't know how soon they'll do it. I think maybe next Monday, not tomorrow, like 8 days time, maybe something like that. Yeah. Which is, it feels like long enough after the season because FA Cup finals next weekend. So once that's over and done with, just announce it because we all know it's happening. So you might as well just tell us, just confirm what we already know. Right, before we get Charlie on, again, thank you very much to people getting involved. Digital Nomad says,
thanks, mate.
Beckham got 3 or 4 free kicks a game. Ward Prowse gets 1 in 3.
That's true. Yeah.
Susan said, thank you for all the watch-alongs this year. Hope everyone has a brilliant summer. Brian, thank you for the $20. So thanks for a good season, boys. Did you eat Betty in the end? Comedy gold.
No.
Chicken.
Yeah, no. The noisy, the very noisy, the chicken that was noisier than a cockerel. No. She went to live on a farm, Brian. A farm.
Amsterdam said, thanks for all the videos this season. Discovered the channel at the beginning of the season. It's been an excellent way to stay up to date on West Ham from abroad. Thank you very much for everybody's donations and support. That helps us a lot and means a lot to us as well. Right then, we're not doing transfer. I know. I appreciate everyone's got comments about transfers, but me and Gonzo need content for the summer, right?
Yeah, leave us be. We'll be back one a day. We'll drip feed it.
We're not silly. We know how to stretch it out a little bit. But no, Christian, there's no chance. I think Lopetegui signed. I believe he signed his contract.
Yes,
I believe that it's all done and it's on the dotted line.
Definitely.
It's just we're just waiting for the right moment, whenever that is. Right then, let's get Bevel in so we can have a quick chat for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to disappear because I need to get my own bets on for this afternoon's football. Bevel, how is oneself?
I'm not bad. How are you?
You're quiet. He's quiet.
You're very quiet.
I clicked on it.
Still quiet.
I don't care. How are you?
No, we can barely. You have to. With no one but you had to hear you.
No,
Where's your microphone? We're not winding you up. I promise you, we're not winding you up.
I just don't. I hate life. Hang on. Can't be asked. Where's the button?
It's like, have you ever heard Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan? Rob Brydon does this impression, man in a box, basically. And it was very much like Charlie.
Have you
Go on,
fixed
Charlie.
it?
I don't know.
Yay! I mean,
don't
no,
know,
no, you have. You fixed it. Anyway.
It changes every time. It's pissing me off. I've had 3 Zoom calls this week where they're like, "Oh, you're quiet." So then I turn it up, and then the next one they're like, "Oh, you're so loud," and I'm like, "Bro, I don't want to know what these people want from me." Anyway, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Chill. It's the last game of the season. We're all right.
I
Well, I have a question for you before I go, because I don't know the answer. I'm interested. For those that don't know, Charlie lives in North London and has many Arsenal friends. Not far from the Emirates. You live. When there's a concert on, Charlie gets a free concert. That's how close he is to the Emirates, right?
I wish that were true.
Who are you wanting to win the title?
Oh, Arsenal. But it's not. No, but let me put it this way. It's not Arsenal. It's anyone but Manchester City.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it is. I don't actually particularly care. Like, it would be nice for some of my friends to have a title because they won't shut up about it otherwise. So like everyone's like, "Oh, well, they'll be insufferable." I mean, I live around them. They're insufferable anyway. It really doesn't make it. It's not going to make them any worse. But for me, I just don't want to see. I'm so bored of Manchester City winning this every single season. I don't like the fact that they're this horrendously rich club that just go, yeah, we'll just buy every single. Like earlier on, you were listing through their players on the bench and like, oh, Nathan Ake, yeah, he's pretty good. We'll just take him for however much money we want, and he'll just live on the bench. It's like, I'm so bored of it. I would rather them not win it, but realistically, if we're being honest about it, it's not going to happen, is it? Manchester City are going to win. So
fair. Right, I've got to go. Gonzo, you going or are you sticking around?
I have got to go as well, unfortunately.
Right. Well, remove Gonzo. Gonzo, I will catch up with you tomorrow on the player ratings. And Bevel, I will catch up with you at halftime. Enjoy yourself.
I shall see you then. Cheers, Geo. Thank you, Gonzo. Thank you, all of you, for joining. I hope you're all well. It's the final game of the season. It's a big game. It's a big game. It's West Ham versus Manchester City. Lots of eyes on it from the neutral point of view, because it does kind of feel like this is the one. If we don't get anything against them, then it doesn't matter what Arsenal can do. They can't win the title. And realistically, everyone can look at it. It ain't happening. We ain't getting a result. And that's not even necessarily because of the lineups, which are rolling across the bottom of your screen, although it is partly because of that as well. It's just because realistically, it's just not happening. It's just not happening, is it? But let's go through those starting lineups anyway. David, he has tonsillitis today, so he's unfortunately not available. However, the players who are available, and as I go through them, why not list on a scale of 1 to 10 how confident you're feeling of a West Ham result today? Lineup as such. Areola starts in goal with Sufal, Zuma, Mavropanos, Cresswell, and Emerson in defence. We then have Ward-Prowse and Souček in midfield with Paquetá, Kudus, and then Michail Antonio up front. I'll tell you what we'll do. I can turn it up slightly. I don't mind turning it up slightly. It's fine. That's the starting lineup. There's some questions about what formation it's going to be. It looks like a 5 at the back. It could technically be a 4 at the back. Maybe Emerson just takes up the left wing role. Potentially, I could see that being the case. I mean, functionally, that still is relatively similar if we're being honest about it. But it does look like a 5 at the back if we're being 100% honest about it. Outside of that, substitutes bench: Fabianski, Johnson, Alvarez, Cornet, Ings, Earthy, Casey, Mubama, and Ogbonna. Positionally, that's Fabianski, Johnson, Casey, Ogbonna. Alvarez, Urfi, Cornet, Ings, and Mubama. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, here's the thing about here's the thing about this lineup, right? And when we asked how you felt to like the starting lineup, with several different options, them being I like it, I love it, I dislike it, and I hate it. I think I probably disagree with where the chat has come down on it to an extent, to a very minor extent. The chat coming down very heavily in one option. They say 8% of people loved it, 21% of people hated it, 22% of people liked it, and 48% of people disliked it, which actually has changed a little bit since last time I checked it. But ultimately, I probably agree with I like it, but it's not as emphatic as maybe it is for the chat. If we're being honest about it, it's not as emphatic. I mean, realistically, when I look at it, Alvarez is the one missing piece. Outside of that, I can't really. Let me know if that sounds any better. Realistically, I don't know if this is anything else I would change. Right, I would definitely start Alvarez. He would start every game basically at this point if it were me. But outside of that, would I start a different centre back combination? No. Would I start a different full back combination? No. Would I? Do you know what I mean? It becomes very difficult from there. If I'm still looking at this from a viewpoint of trying to win the game, because I want to win this game. Not just because I don't want Manchester City to win the league, but I want to win this game, frankly, just because I want to win every game, you know? And so if I want to win that game, I want to put the strongest lineup out. Now, if I'm thinking about it in terms of, I don't care about this game, it's the end of the season, it doesn't affect us at all, I would rather just see us go out in a sort of vibey, nice way, then yeah, I would probably put Urfi in that pitch instead of, say, Ward-Prowse. I'd probably take off Alvarez. I'd probably put Alvarez in for Cresswell, and then I'd probably take off Ward-Prowse and put in, say, Urfi, for example. Outside of that, though, I don't know. I don't like it, but I certainly wouldn't say it's as emphatic as people in the live chat were in the poll. Did you see Leverkusen have completed the league? I mean, it's crazy. Both of those things are almost as mad as each other. I mean, Munich finishing third is insane, but like what they've managed to do is just absolutely balmy. Absolutely balmy. You gotta respect it. You gotta absolutely respect it. Good afternoon to everyone saying good afternoon, by the way. Trying to scroll through to see if I can find where the numbers are. Because the chat is it's skipping all over the shop. David's going with a 0. I suspect it will be very, very similar to that. Good to see you, Schizo. I hope you're well, by the way. I was overhearing stuff. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I hope you're well, and I hope you're good, man. 0, 2, 0. Park the bus. Park all the buses. 1% chance. 1, 0. 5 minus 69 says Richie. Nice. And yeah, I mean, realistically, I have literally no hope. I have literally no hope if we're being honest about it. As much as I would like to sit here, and you know me, I try to be as positive as possible with these things sometimes. Realistically, it's not happening, is it? Scott, well, bite my bamboo and call me Barry. Hello, sir. For last match of the season, how you doing? I'm doing well. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Hope you're vibing. Thank you for joining for the last game of the season. As per usual, it's not the same without you. George has gone with a 0. Kez has gone with a 0. West Ham about to shock the world. 7 out of 10 says AS. Mike's gone with a 3. Bevan's gone with a minus 99. Dave's gone with a 4. Bowen gone no chance 7-0. It's kind of where I'm at. I mean, we'll be at the situation in a minute where we do get to score predictions, but I can see that. AK's gone with a 6. Dean's gone with a 3,200 minus 3,190, which is a 10. Let's go. That one was an easy one. Mike's too loud. Turn it down. I don't know what it is. I would try and listen. Maybe at some point I'll try and listen to a stream and see what we like. But you know, for now, Chuck with £50. Chuck, thank you. This is unbelievably kind of you. Thank you for the season's watch-alongs. You kept me sane when I was very ill, literally stuck in Thailand for over a month. Worst places to be stuck, but being ill sounds stressed. Thank you, sir. It's very, very kind of you. Of course, with all these things, it doesn't just help myself. It helps Geo. It helps Gonzo. It helps the entire channel. But that's very, very kind of you, bro. Let me make sure your name is at the top before I move on. There we go. Name will appear in the top. Thank you, as per usual, sir. And I hope you're well now. I mean, we're back in the country now. You can at least be in your own bed, I guess, which is for me important. Right, let's look through the Manchester City side, shall we? Because this is the side we're going to be going up against. Arthur's gone with a 6, Robert's gone with a 3, a weak 1, says Sam. Dean, I did see you predicting a cheeky 1-0 win on Twitter. I did think you vibes wild. Ortega starts in goal for Manchester City with Walker, Akanji, Diaz, and Gvardiol in defence. Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo in midfield, Foden, Doku, and Erling Haaland. You know, scary. Even scarier when I look at someone like Doku, for example, who will just pick up the ball and take it past people so easily. Like, obviously, all of Manchester City's players can do that. They all have unbelievable talent in their specific fields. There is just something about Doku playing this game that scares me. I don't know why. When I saw the lineup, he was the one I was terrified of. I'm terrified of all of them, but for some reason, I think Doku's just going to pull us apart in a way that I don't like. Gonzo reacted to YouTube video player highlights for Link players would be a fun watch over the summer series. Listen, Digital Nomad, thank you for the £5, by the way. You've already donated before today. You've already donated today already, let alone all the other times you've done, Digital. So thank you very much. But also, it's not a bad content idea. If we're being honest about it, not a bad content idea. Yeah, I see. Here's the thing. Obviously, Geo said, like, I've grown up in North London, so I do have a lot of Arsenal supporting friends. I do know some Manchester City people as well. And one of them specifically doesn't rate Doku at all. And I'm like, no, I'm not saying he's the best player they have. And obviously, City have some very high standards. But I'm like, this guy is so good. This guy's so ridiculously good. Their bench and positional order: Carson, Stones, Ake, Lewis, Kovacic, Nunes, Grealish, Bob, and Alvarez. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It just is what it is. There's not really much we can do about it today. There is a sort of certain level of resignment in resignation. That's the word I should be saying. Apart from resignment, that's just not how that works. For me, it just thinks, yeah, it's just this match is just done, isn't it? If we're being honest about it. But we've got a 5 at the back. Maybe we see some sort of madness. You ping the ball out to Mikel Antonio and Kudus on their day. Maybe. I mean, my numbers are very low right now. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong on that one. They are very, very low. I ain't gonna sit here and begin to even front on any other way, but still. Gonzo's transfer tour of Europe. Be nice for him to pick up players that live outside the UK. I'm like, well, I think it's an actual thing, even if it's not just on the Patreon. I think it's something we could do. Gonzo reacts to, Gonzo reaction videos, whatever player we're linked with. We just sit there and have them do a reaction video to their highlights. And then probably mute the copyrighted music, I think that's a decent idea. Always want West Ham to win. Don't care who wins the Prem, none of my business. Yeah, I can feel that, Jeff. I can feel that. And this is what I mean. Don't get me wrong. I understand the people who don't want Arsenal to win today. I fully understand that vibe. I fully get it. But for me personally, I always want to win this match regardless. This is equivalent to your Christmas, says Will Becks. Who's Declan, says Shamrock. How many times do we think we'll get the ball past the halfway line today? Not that many is my gut feeling, Wayne. I'm not going to lie about it. Not that many. Well, again, all it takes is us winning the ball. They're just booting it at Mikel Antonio, which is going to be the vibe today. Or beating it at him and Kudus. Because I suspect, going back to that lineup, right? I suspect what we'll see is a 5 at the back, and then on top of that, it's you're asking yourself a question of whether it will be your 3, whether it will be like a 5-3-2 or 3-4-3, however you want to word it, or whether it will be that formation that we played at quite a few times in Europe, where it's 5-2-1-2. And you get Paquetá in the one sort of in between Souček and Ward-Prowse and Antonio and Kudus. And that to me seems like it makes more sense. You get Paquetá to sort of loop it in and to sort of bring it together, and you just get those long balls going towards Antonio and Kudus. Having said that, does that isolate Paquetá in a way where it's not going to be useful for him? Going to stand him essentially next to Rodri? I don't know, but that's also assuming that he's going to get any of the balls today, which I kind of don't believe is going to happen if we're being perfectly honest about it. I hope Paquetá doesn't go groveling to Pep today. This is the other big thing. I mean, he's been crap for however long. He's been crap for however long he's been crap for. We need him to turn up today. And Loki, he needs to turn up today. Because as much as we all assume that it's a done deal, and I'm not necessarily saying it isn't a done deal, or not likely. I don't think it's a done deal, but incredibly likely. Manchester City signed someone else when they didn't get Paquetá last season. And it's not exactly like the end of this season he's been pulling up trees in a big way. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Manchester City wouldn't still be interested in him. But at the same time, if you're going to turn up for one game when you're linked to Manchester City, it's against Manchester City final day of the season. You want them to fight valiantly against you, beat you, but still think, oh, that guy's so good. He almost stopped us from winning the league. We need him. Hopefully we see that. I doubt it. Because he's been crap for about, I don't know how long, 6 weeks or whatever it's been, but we'll see. Is it only 1 million Arsenal win? I don't think we get any money if Arsenal win. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But the way I believe it's structured is that we get 1 million when they get into the Champions League. So we already have that 1 million. Is that the way it works? That's the way I understood it. I might be wrong, but what I thought was it would be 1 million bonus for every time they get into the Champions League for 5 seasons or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is. So I don't think we get any money if they win, but I'm not sure. 1 million for Champions League, yeah. 5 million is Championship. Do we have a Championship one as well? Interesting. I don't know this. No money, says Alan. David says Bowen out, Cresswell in, no Alvarez. People wonder why Moyes has gone. I can't act like there's some stuff there's some opinions I have on this lineup that I don't really think. I don't think it matters. And I don't think he's picking. At this point, it's a done deal, so there's no point in picking lineups to try and make people happy, right? He might as well just do whatever he wants to do, which is this. We get 1 million for champs. Arsenal will qualify. You're right. Okay. Alex says, hi, bud, Everton fan here. Hope you guys win this and stop the cheats. Well, Alex, thank you very much. Like the video while you're here. I believe you have to be subscribed to comment. I'm not sure Geo sets it up, so I don't know. But I believe you have to be. But like the video while you're here, Alex. Cheers. But also, thank you. It's unlikely. I'm not going to lie to you, Alex. It's very unlikely, but there we go. HDU, good to see you, sir. Pac wants Real Madrid. That's fine. He ain't getting Real Madrid. He can want it as much as he likes. He ain't getting it. There's only one man who West Ham have ever had who's good enough to play for Real Madrid, and then as we all know, that was Julien Faubert. There is no chance Paquetá gets Real Madrid. He doesn't get into that team. He doesn't get into that side. He's not good enough. Nor does he even fit. I could see him working well in an Ancelotti style way. You know how he likes to just sort of let players do whatever they sort of want. I could see him sort of doing a madness with him, but he ain't going there. If we play dead, they might show mercy. Plead for mercy. I know I'm a miserable player. Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. DTT. You know what I mean? I don't think we're gonna get any. I don't think we're gonna get any. Crams. Not Crams. Who is it? Sty's wrong. Maybe you come off again. I would hope that. I don't think we're gonna get any mercy. But this is the sort of stuff I would like to see. Like, realistically, I'm not really that fussed about the game. I want to see us go out fighting. I want to see a fighting performance from us today. I don't necessarily care about the result, if I'm being honest about it. Like, obviously, I want us to win, but I'm not going to judge us on whether we win or we lose or whatever. I just would like us to see out the season in a way that I can be happy with. I just want to see us perform. I want to see us fight. I want to see us, even if we can't get a lot of the ball, we get no possession, I don't care. As long as we make the most of it, as long as we go down scrapping and look like there's 11 people on the pitch who actually want to play, then that's all I'm really happy with. I want to see a situation where George Earthy can come on. I would like to see a situation which Mubama would come on. Casey, I probably wouldn't want to hold his feet to the fire today, if I'm being perfectly honest about it. I think it would be a bit harsh on the lad. But those ones, take off Paquetá, bring on George Earthy, take off Mikel Antonio, bring on Divine Mubama. That's the sort of stuff I would like to see. But realistically, all I'm looking for today is a performance I can be proud of. A side that I go, we went down fighting. And that's all I need today. I'm not looking at the result as much as I want us to win. I'm not looking at anything apart from that, personally. Bring them down to earthing. It's good, Jeff. Jeff. It's good. It's good. It's good. I think Pyatt in 2014 could have gone to... He was with us 15, 16, right? Was it 2014? Was it 14, 15? What was that season? I forget this every time. I was thinking about this the other day. What was the final season at Upton Park? Was it 14, 15 or 15, 16? I forget every single time. And I'm just making sure I've got my match bingo ready. There are, of course, today's sponsors. Big rewards today. They got £1,000 bonus pot on the full house. So not only do you get your classic £25 if you get one line, not only do you get your classic £50 if you get two lines, but if you get a full house, you get £1,000 at the bottom there. That's not the best way of showing it. £1,000, and there's 2 of them to win. And all you need to do is buy your tickets. It's £2 per bingo card. You can get a maximum of 5. That, of course, does mean it's betting, so you do have to be over 18 to play and to take part. But you can't just do it endlessly. It's not like any other betting system where you can just put in as much money as you want. There are only £2 per card. You can only get a maximum of 5 cards. And then it ticks it off for you. So, for example, when West Ham make 2 substitutes, bang, that one's ticked off for me. When Manchester City win a corner, bang, that one's ticked off for me. And then once you get 1 line, 2 line, full house, you get the money. So many people have won in the chat, and I'm jealous of all of them. Geo has won, Gonzo has won. In fact, it feels like I'm the only person who hasn't, but today's the day. Today is the day we win on Match Bingo. Link is in the description below if you want to get involved. It helps us out a huge amount, and thank you very much to them. Bowen is on, he has tonsillitis, Benji, so he did not make the game today. And then just again, but while we go for those score predictions, no more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. We've gone through the entire lineups. We've gone through the subs benches. We've gone through what kind of systems we could be playing. We've gone through what I think we need to do to win. I've gone through what I think is going to realistically happen. It's time to get those final score predictions in, and we will lock them in. Lock them in. That's what I'm saying, Kez. It's my turn today, Kez. That's what I'm saying. Today's the day. And while we do this, I'll run through West Ham's side very quickly once more. Just for those who have just arrived, West Ham lineup as such. Areola starts in goal with Sufal, Zuma, Mavropanos, and Aaron Cresswell in defence. Emerson is also in defence, I should say. It's probably a 5 at the back. He could be further forward in a midfield sort of scenario with Ward-Prowse, Souček, Paquetá, and Kudus. But Mikel Antonio is definitely starting up front. That is the 11 we have. The bench is Fabianski, Johnson, Alvarez, Cornet, Ings, Urfi, Casey Bubama, and Angelo Ogbonna. Manchester City lineup as such. Ortega starts in goal with Walker, Akanji, Diaz, and Gvardiol in defence. That was awfully said. Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and Devin De Bruyne started midfield alongside Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku, and of course Erling Haaland. Their bench: Carson Stones, Ake, Kovacic, Grealish, Alvarez, Nunez, Bob, and Lewis. We, of course, will be live throughout the entire game here. We've got the entire first half, which is kicking off in just over 2 minutes' time, plus the half time when Jill will come in and speak actual sense, not whatever gibberish is coming out of my mouth during the game. We then have the entire second half, and then, of course, our live match review straight after the game. You will not need to leave this channel at all. Everything in this right here in this video will be here for you. So make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe, like the video, because it helps us out a whole ton. And we appreciate you for coming, and I appreciate you all for the season. It's the final watch along of the season. It's the final game of the season, and it's almost time for kickoff. Let's have a look, though, through these score predictions at the end. I'm going to say it's going to be 4-1 to Manchester City. I want to say 3-1. I'm going to say 3-1. But my gut says 4-1 potentially. Charlie, for once, I want to see West Ham lose by as many goals, just like 6-0 to stop Arsenal and Turncoat Rice from winning anything. I don't think many people would disagree with you, Pete, to be fair. I might, but I don't think many other people would. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on a sec. Bless me. I didn't dust the fan before I turned the fan on this week, and it's been playing havoc with me. Just seen with 25-1 on Sky Bet, we're fielding Jeff Hurst and Bobby Moore. Listen, it's the only way you could get that odds. Otherwise, realistically, it should be a lot higher than that, if we're being honest. Pep will tell them to throttle once. This is what I was thinking, is 3-1 enough for them? And I think no, so I'll say 4-1, but at the same time 3-1's what the guy is saying, whereas Shush saying 4-1 to City, 3-1 to Manchester City, 4-0. Yeah, go 2-0 up to give those Arsenal clowns of hope, then lose. 3-1. It's just some classic. So I do have a story for you, Scott, during the watch along if you stick around. But it's just some classic cheap boxes today. Nothing fancy. Black. 1-0 to West Ham United Football Club. Come on, Dean, stick true to it, and one day it might happen. 4-2 to Manchester City, says Rob. 6-1, 10-0, 4-0, 4-1, 6-0, 3-0, 2-2. DeVito guaranteed hat trick. That's what I'm talking about, Carl. 4-1, Souček bicycle kick. Hate to see this, but 5-1, hoping for a 1-1. 1-1 though, says Alex. Would have been 4-1, but with Bowen now 5-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1. A very optimistic 2-1, Mike. Love to see it, sir. Love to see it. Whereas Paul and Devo both going with a 5-1, 5-0, 5-2, 2-1, 3-2, says M. Collingwood Atlas himself. Antonio last minute win about Arsenal don't beat Everton. Absolute scenes. I mean, that is kind of a golden scenario for a lot of people, realistically. 2-1, West Ham ever the optimist. 2-2, and Arsenal lose 2-1 to Everton. 5-0, 2-2, 4-0 at half time. Then they played Moyes ball. 0-0, 1-1, 4-0. There's a lot of spread here, but basically as it is. The game will be kicking off in just a second for everyone, or for myself at least, because I'll be watching it here in North Idaho. There is, of course, a timer in the top corner, which will say exactly how far behind you I am, because I will inevitably be just slightly behind you. But I'd like to thank you all once more, because it is the final watch along of the season. Let's get that timer accurate, shall we? Let's get it in time with what I'm seeing. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare because every single match are playing right now. So finding a one that's thankfully we're playing a title contender, so it should be slightly easier to find the right signal on the North Idaho Independent Television Service. Although that's maybe a bold call. But yeah, let's get that timer accurate. However, as I do that, it'll probably be just about now. So I'll say, come on, you irons, deploy the boys. It's time to run two things indeed. West Ham versus Manchester City in the Premier League. The final game of the season. A huge moment for Manchester City and a not so huge moment for us. And a huge moment for Arsenal as well. So there might be a situation today. I will say this: there might be some situations today where there's going to be some trolls and all that sort of stuff kicking off. If it happens, try to avoid getting involved too much. If people do come in hating on West Ham or starting to try and kick off and stuff, try just to avoid it as best we can, because we don't need it. We don't need it. Let's be real about it. We don't need it. That's fine. Let's see which one of these is going to be ahead, shall we? Got a whole bunch of options here. Let's see if any of I'm just sort of playing the game now, seeing which one of them is going to be furthest ahead to see when it's the accurate. Of course, yes, slightly forgotten about in a way for me, but of course it's also David Moyes' last game in charge. Not something I've really been thinking about at all, if we're being honest about it. But last David Moyes game in charge as well today, and he's going out in a typically David Moyes fashion. Not that I'm shocked about that. That's exactly what I would expect if we're being honest about it. Get rid of that one. Still trying to see. Actually, none of mine have kicked off, if I'm being honest about it. So I can sort of just hold that for a second, because I don't think any of mine actually kicks off. Yeah, it feels that way, because I'm like scrolling through more. None of that I am as I'm flicking through the channels. None of them are coming up. Alex, good to see you, sir. How are you? How's things? How's the editing job? Alex has joined the workforce of Charlie Walsh of video editors. You hate to see it. You hate to see it from Alex's perspective. Good luck. But how are you, sir? Oh, Wally, thank you very much for the $20. Where is it? At the bottom. There we go. Wally, thank you very much. Thanks for another season of entertaining watching. Thank you very much, my liege. Sir, how are you? Of course, a legend of the game. That's the first one head. Right, okay. Here we go. I can get this timer accurate now. Wally, a legend of the game, been on many shows, not just on Hammer's Chat, but all over West Ham YouTube. There we go. Coming minds, deploy the boys. It's time to round 2 things. There we go. We're in. Wally's an absolute legend himself, so I don't know. Wally's given me legendary status when my man's been out here. He's been all over. He's been on many a Two Spanners One Hammer over on patreon.com/Hammer's Chat with myself and Ray. Many streams with Peach, the legend, of course. There we go. Right, I've got it working now. Here we go. That's accurate. Let me add your name into the top thing, Wally. And thank you, bro. It's very kind of you. Very kind of everyone. I was kind of shocked when I sat back down after doing all the lineups and I go and get ready. And then I sit back down and there just seems to be a million super chats. So just while I'm here, thank you, Wally. Thank you, Digital Nomads, to Chuck, to Hamsterdam, to Brian Flowers, to Susan, to Digital Again, to Sam, to Schizo, to Tom, to Lewis, to NH. Thank you to all of you. It's very, very kind of all of you. Manchester City trying to go through the gears here with Phil Foden. Little block from Paquetá. The hook away is not great, though. Back out wide to Manchester City. Played away, and that's a great control. Hit from range, and it's right into the top corner. And Manchester City have started as strongly as humanly possible. Phil Foden with an absolute banger into the top corner from range. Slides it, just turns his body, allows it to roll across, shifts it onto his strong left foot. And then from just outside the area, 20 yards away or something, hammers it into the top corner. And after the season he's having, I mean, it's not entirely surprising, but an incredible, incredible goal from Phil Foden. Fair play. Sometimes in these sort of situations, you just got to sit and you just got to say, fair play. That is an absolute banger. Laid across the area. I'm not sure who from. He just rolls it across to get away from James Ward-Prowse. And then before Kudus can get close to him and before Souček maybe could close in, hits it right into that top. Could not be more top corner if it tried. Just slightly with the outside of the boot. Into the side netting. It's absolutely beautiful. Areola, I'm not going to lie, maybe could have done slightly better, but it's absolutely beautiful goal. And I mean, that's the strongest possible start from Manchester City. So I would like to formally apologise to any Arsenal fans watching this, hoping that literally anything else was going to happen today. It wasn't. It never was. It never will. That's just where we're at. But that is an absolute arrow of a shot from Phil Foden. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely mad. Mad. FEP, good to see you. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're well. Mad. Mad. Well, any nerves Manchester City fans might have had is, I suspect no longer exist. I suspect no longer exist. Played out wide to the left-hand side. Manchester City once more. Trying to figure out the formation. It does... Paquetá is seems very level with Kudus. So I think it is a 5-2-3 or a 3-4-3, however you want to word it. It does seem like that because Paquetá is very left. He's not in that 10 position at all. It's Manchester City playing the ball around the back. Have I seen Doctor Who yet? I have seen Doctor Who. Yeah, I watched it yesterday morning. Woke up and watched it yesterday morning, which was a fun experience. Getting to just wake up Saturday morning at like 9 a.m. and being like, oh, you can just watch Doctor Who now, couldn't we? A good episode. I liked it. I thought it was decent. I thought it was a decent episode, to be fair. I think Shooty is just so good. I'm fully sold on him as the Doctor now. I'm really loving his work so far. Areola gets the pass back, tries to punt it long as per usual. Wouldn't it be a game with Areola without awful long passing and it goes straight out for a throw into Manchester City? I don't think so. The answer to you, I don't think so. Good pressing there, though, from the throw from Manchester City. We just instantly hounded him. They've played around it a bit easy, but Bernardo Silva on the ball, trying to wiggle his way in. De Bruyne tries to find Foden and does. Manchester City beginning with the horseshoe, trying to just sort of pass their way around. I mean, obviously that goal came from the centre, but the horseshoe is in full effect here. Rodri out wide to Walker as they're sort of just playing it around at the moment. Manchester City trying to find any sort of space as we sort of stay in our areas, stay in our lanes, and just a little bit of awkward passing. Maybe activating a press a little bit, but ultimately still exactly what you would expect. Played out wide. De Bruyne has Doku on the ball now in the wide left-hand space. Now he's gone into the corner quadrant, steps into the area. 1v1 versus Sufal beats him, but the driven low cross matched only by the West Ham captain and no single Man City player. What's Moyes' issue with others? I honestly don't know. I don't know. I don't pretend to know. Don't know. It is what it is. He's leaving, so it really makes no difference to me. Who knows? Long throw from Sufal, quickly taken. Nicely done for Paquetá with a good spin. Finds his boy Emerson. Those two start lining up. Paquetá, he's trying today. He's trying in a way he hasn't been recently right now, Paquetá. Loses out on the ball instantly. That's a nice little nutmeg from Kevin De Bruyne. Picks the ball back up from Haaland even. Doku has the overlap there from Gvardiol. The thing is, in my head, I say it perfectly every time and out loud. De Bruyne hits it safe from Areola. Long shot from range, but Areola matches it. Maybe could have caught it, but every time in my head, I say it correct. And then every time I go to say it out loud, I'm like, Gvardiol. I feel like I used to be able to say it. In my head, I'm thinking about it right now. Nailing it every single time. Fuming. Doku looks to take on his man. He's got Souček and Sufal both there. Could have managed to just get a nip in. City remain on the ball. Gvardiol. Back to Foden. Doku's there. He has De Bruyne just on the inside of him. Instead finds Walker. Almost manages to lose out on the ball, but they continue with possession here. Bernardo Silva has Walker now on the overlap in the right corner quadrant. He sends to dribble forward. About as many claret shots back as you would expect. Could have sort of floating a little bit maybe more than we'd want, but nice interception there from Sufal. Souček with a little bit of a dangerous pass, but instantly nips in and fights the ball back to win it back. It's good work there. He loses out on it, but to get straight back in and win it back, the ball forward was poor. And City have the ball, but you like to see that sort of effort at least. It's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long game. The passing around right now is going to be long. James, good to see you, sir. James Garn, a long time watch-along person. I'm pretty certain since the beginning. I appreciate this. Also, Richard, thank you. It's very kind of you. We do technically have a patron, I guess. So So patreon.com/hammershot. But yeah, thank you. It's very kind of you. Doku getting outdone there by Sufal. Love to see it. Nips his foot in, gets it away, and then just charges him down. Just checking my match bingo, because there's a lot of things ticked off already, obviously. Got 4 ticked off on one of them already, for obvious reasons, Manchester City. Oh, we had a throw-in, which counts, I guess. Diaz strides forward, finds Gvardiol, who goes down under the challenge of Mavropanos, who comes back into the side today. Good to see him back. I think he's going to be a huge player for us next season, so it's really good to see him back, to be honest. How's Danny feeling? I don't know. Let's ask him. Let's press the button and see if it will zoom in on him properly. Let's ask him. Danny? Oh, you love to see it. He says he's good. He says he's excited for the game. Although, He says in real life he's an Arsenal fan, so obviously he actually wants this to go our way. But at the same time, is he actually an Arsenal fan? These are the questions you need to ask. Free kick from the side. Kevin De Bruyne punches it. Kicks it in and it's punched away from Areola. Mixed emotions from Danny today, it's safe to say. Ings or DeVito is a good question. It's a good question. Just easy passing it around at the moment at the back. Manchester City under a little bit of pressure, but they managed to pass around it very, very quickly and efficiently. I was never too early for food, chat. As you can see, I had McDonald's before the game. I had a quarter pound of cheese with cheese meal. Large, obviously. Ball up by top. Bernardo Silva under some pressure. Little dink off Paquetá. Emerson tries to charge it down, but can't get the ball away. And that pressing is going to be a problem for us, because in other games, that's what we'll try to do. We'll try and force them back and to press it a little bit. And there's been games where we've been great at it, but there's been games where we haven't. But in a game like today, it's a good opportunity for Mikel Antonio. Gets a little bit, can't quite get the ball out from under his feet, but still has it at least. Passes it back, which just puts us into trouble. Mavropanos goes down under the foul from Haaland. Thank you. We'll take that. Shouldn't have been a free kick, but we'll take it. But yeah, realistically, we're going to want to hit that. Like, we've tried to hit that press already today, and it's just not going to happen. Realistically, I mean, they can pass. They've got. They're a passy team. They're a very pass happy team, and realistically, that's never going to go well for us. So it is what it is, isn't it? Like, they're just going to be able to pass around that press as easy as any team in the league will. So for us, it is really going to be about those counters and basically just those counters. Solid mill. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you. Appreciate it. From the Little Chef, I've never had Little Chef. I've seen them on motorways or like A roads as driving past them, but I've never actually been in a Little Chef. I wouldn't be able to tell you what even type of food they sell. Is there bacon? Probably that. I don't even know if they're still around. That's a great shout. I don't even know if they're still around, Scott. Don't even know if they're still around. Here's my underwear story, Scott. I'll tell it very quickly. I was in M&S, right? Because I was getting some smarter clothes that I needed. Suit stuff, you know what I mean? And I needed like new boxers. And so I was like, oh, I'll just grab these. These are like plain black, easy. That's all I need. Just give me those plain boxers, not fussed what they are, right? Grab them. Go to the till. Everything seems a bit expensive, but I'm like, it's M&S, whatever. We just move on. Realize that, Emerson does brilliantly. He takes it past like 3 people, charges 3, the ball falls behind him in a very West Ham fashion. Sofal tries to play it in towards Antonio. It doesn't quite work. There was a beautiful moment there where Emerson just grabbed the ball and just dribbled it past like 2 or 3 Manchester City people and almost managed to create an incredible goal for himself. And then just the ball rolls behind him in a very West Ham fashion. You see people like Mikel Antonio do that back in the day. Everything seemed more expensive than usual, but whatever. It's M&S. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm buying smart clothes, whatever it is, what it is. Anyway, I get home, I look at the receipt and I pull them out and I realized I bought like some of the more expensive boxes that they sell. And now I'm like, I should take these back. This is too expensive. I can't. This is not the sort of life I can be living. But I thought, you know what? Treat myself for the first time in clothes. I don't buy a lot of clothes. I only buy the best apparel. For example, Dean Marsh created apparel. Follow Dean on Twitter at Dean Marsh. I thought, you know what? Fine. Let's just keep them. Whatever. They are the most comfortable boxers I've ever owned in my life. It's insane how comfortable they are. It's crazy. Forest are 2-0 up, so Luton Town are getting relegated. Mikel Antonio almost managed. He's having to fight off Diaz alongside, I think it was Bernardo Silva and Walker there, and he can't quite manage it, but he's going to give his best today. I mean, in a positive way, we don't seem to have crumbled. Holy moly! Caicedo just score from the halfway line for Chelsea? Is that what I just saw? Good save from Areola there, by the way. Doku cuts in from the left, hits it from range. Didn't feel like it was going to be an outrageous chance, but it's a good save. It's a very good save. Yeah, did Caicedo just score from behind the halfway line for Chelsea? If so, mad. I can imagine. Yeah, people are starting to say, yeah, Caicedo halfway line. I did see that. What a finish as well. He does it fantastically. So he's not been the best signing I've ever had, but he's absolutely nailed that one. Fair play to him. City looking for a shot from range onto Kevin De Bruyne. Shoot from the crowd happens. Good storming in there from Mavropanos to try and win that ball away. Sofao getting the block from Bernardo Silva, lays it back. City passing it around just outside the area, chips it back towards the back post. It was an interesting idea, but Doku has the ball, goes inside. He can go with both feet, and he does that time, hits it, but Areola matches it once more. Kudus battles with Doku and wins the throw, and we take that. Good work, Mohamed Kudus. Good work, Mohamed Kudus, and good work, Areola, on being switched on for it. Again, that's what scares me about Doku, is he can sort of do both, you know? He can pick up the ball on wide on the left-hand side, cut inside onto his right, and unleash a good shot that Areola has to save. And then 30 seconds later, can pick up the ball on the right-hand side, cut inside, and unleash a great shot with his left foot that he has to save. Great opportunity for Rodri. Oh, he hits the side netting unbelievably. That's a great chance for Rodri to make it 2. Hits it. Picks up the ball. A terrible West Ham throw, which I didn't even say because all our throws are terrible. I think Foden was there. Foden's very angry. De Bruyne looks to play it to Foden, and Rodri collects it and then hits it with his second touch off the side netting. Probably should have left it for Foden, but at this point they're just lining up. We take the short goal kick that Gary Neville doesn't understand. Long kick from Areola. Guess what happens? You're right. It goes to Manchester City, although they fluffed their lines, and Vladimir Sufaus picked up the ball once again from Rodri. He's not having the best of games. Just realised my Spotify's still on. Let's turn that off. Let's also match the timer just slightly better. There you go. I think that's a bit more closer. No, that's I've gone too far. That'll do. Doku out wide on the left-hand side, picks it up, cuts it across, hit from Foden. That's in the net, isn't it? There's no way that's not going in. Let's have a look. Yeah, it did go in. It did go in. It glitched out at the exact moment he hit it, and it looked like it was going in, but Foden makes it 2. It's a good finish again from him. The pullback from the left-hand side, and he just opens up his body and just slots it behind Areola. 2-0 Manchester City. Isn't there an interview this week where Pep said, of course, we'd want to be 3-0 up after 25 minutes or whatever it was? I think it was Doku with the assist. I'd have to look at it again. Haaland, yeah, he plays it out to Doku, who takes on... Oh, that's a great pass in. Again, I'm telling you, Doku, man. Slots it directly in between the two between I think it's Souček maybe and Mavropanos. Ward-Prowse and Zuma are both there. It's Sufal and Mavropanos. And Ward-Prowse and Zuma are both there, and he's directly in, and Doku's directly Foden is directly in between them and just strokes it beyond Areola. 2-0. 2-0 Manchester City. Unsurprisingly, Manchester City are winning 2-0. Angel Gomez, Alvarez. Isn't Angel Gomez quite small? That's my one concern with Angel. It's like we were linked with Marcus Edwards recently, weren't we? And I think Marcus Edwards is quite small. I'm not necessarily against a small player, but in the modern day Premier League of big burly boys like Rodri and Rice and all those sort of guys, isn't he quite small, Angel Gomez? I might be wrong about that, but I've always, in my head, he's about 5'6", 7", something like that. Like 5'5", yeah, maybe. That's sort of the vibe I get from him. Like him as a player, technically. We'll say that, but yeah. Blue cheesy, literally the only time I'm not really bothered about losing. In fact, I'm quite happy about it. Well, listen, it is what it is at this point, isn't it? Manchester City playing the ball around in midfield. Slotting it in to Kevin De Bruyne back out wide. He's in the corner quadrant here on the right-hand side, Kevin De Bruyne. Look to try and cross it. Little faint cross there. They carry on the horseshoe. Carry on the horseshoe. Can I have what we think the halftime score will be? Yeah, okay. What do we think the halftime score will be? I could do it as a poll. I tell you what, I'll do it as a poll. I'll do something. What should we do as a poll? How do we word this? How do we word this? What will the halftime score be? 3-0? 4-0? Now, here's the question. Do we give ourselves a goal or not? Do we give options for goals? 4-0, 3-1, 3-1, 4-0, 7-0. We'll put 3-1 in there. And then we'll put 5-0 for the bounce. Why not? At this point, why not? There we go. I'm all about the polls at the moment. I'm enjoying the polls at the moment, you know? De Bruyne plays it in. Erling Haaland, I tell you what, that's a good foot there from Mavropanos. Just gets it in again. That's what I'm saying, man. He's going to be so important. No goals for us. I depressingly agree, guys. This is what I'm saying. MC, good to see you. I said 3-0. The poll is up now. There's some options in there. If you want to give us a goal, you can. There's a 3-1 option, but yeah, it just doesn't work, isn't it? Ghost of Tsushima is on Steam. It is on Steam. That's very true, Richard. I still haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, you know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm thinking about streaming tomorrow. Doku looks to try and play it in. Can't get it. Can't quite bend it around. It's going to be a corner. I've been thinking about playing Ghost of Tsushima. I've been thinking about playing it. I'm also trying to figure out what I'm going to do on stream. I want to stream tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow at 7 p.m. feels like a time I should stream. I streamed this week. Elden Ring. I beat the boss. Thank you very much. All of the doubters who said I'd be terrible at Elden Ring. I beat a boss on stream. Under pressure. It makes diamonds. So I'm thinking, I don't know what I should do tomorrow. Is Ghost of Tsushima maybe? What other games are there that I should stream? I could just stream Elden Ring, I guess. But what should I do tomorrow? On ATOP Lads, my actual channel as well. Played in, gets cleared away. Manchester City have possession of the ball, though, so it really doesn't make much of a difference. Foden plays it in towards Bernardo Silva. Little dink across the top. That's a great move. Haaland! And how that is not 3, I'm not entirely certain. How that is not a 3, I'm not entirely certain. Bernardo Silva, the dink across is nice. Into a good space, and the pullback is almost perfect for Haaland, and he just completely fluffs his lines. I don't think it was perfect. It's a great hook back. It's just behind him, but you feel like Haaland would manage that one. And he just can't get his foot on it. I think it's Diaz who plays it back across goal. And maybe he's a little bit shocked it gets there. Mavropanos trying to stop it. Cannot get anything on it. Incredible. Incredible. Paquetá and one of the Manchester City players were both down as the game carries on. I can't believe you missed it either. I tweeted out, but I didn't set up. Struck from range from Foden, and I tell you what, not Fabianski. Areola just palming it away. Foden is desperate for 3-0 and he wants a screamer. I can't believe you missed it either, but I didn't set up the notifications properly. I didn't do it half an hour before. Because for a notification for a stream on YouTube, you have to have it scheduled for half an hour earlier, but because of how much troubles I was having setting it up, I didn't get that. So actually, it's probably my fault. It's probably my fault. Appreciate you, Rude Geek. Thank you for coming, bro. Good to see you one last time this season. Looking at a Foden shot again. It wasn't a great shot. 25 yards. It was straight down the air. Straight down. Yeah, it was all. I fluffed it. I fluffed it badly on that one. I can't lie. I need more drink. I've just finished that. I'm going to be thirsty. Free kick. From about the range, from about 35, 40 yards, De Bruyne standing over it. They decide to play it short. Foden again launching it in, headed away from Mavropanos. Kudus is charging it down, looking to try and beat Guardiola to it. Can't stop it. City goes all the way back though. How much do you reckon we net spend on us? I don't know. 100? Maybe a little bit less? 80? Net, if you're talking net, because you're talking, let's say, yeah, probably somewhere in that range net would be my gut. Because if Paquetá does go, then it'd be 85 mil. And then if he didn't go, we wouldn't need to spend as much anyway. But my gut would say maybe 80 net. But that's with 85. But that's like 150, 60 overall, given we get 85 mil in from Paquetá, if you know. City passing it around at the moment. Just ridiculous. Have I played Robin Hood Show and Builders? I've not played Robin Hood Show. Do you remember that? Was it a Robin Hood game that came out recently? That was like a 4-player like asymmetric co-op thing. Shot from range from Akanji again, easily into the hands of Areola, but not hit with a sort of venom of Foden's one, who was straight at him. So this time he does manage to catch it. Can't remember what it was called. It's a thief game. Don't know if it was any good. I don't remember it being any good, but Ghost of Tsushima is a masterpiece. I do need to play it at some point. I do really need to play it at some point. Manchester City once again on the ball. Jeremy Doku on it. Looking to take on Sofao, who's just backing off. James Ward-Prowse is there. Shot from range from De Bruyne. I thought that was destined for the far corner. Just wide, and it's going to be another corner. Just opens up his body. De Bruyne looks to try and angle it in, and I tell you what, it was a save from... It was a brilliant save from Areola. Full stretch. That one, there was no chance. There might have been some other ones where I thought he might have been able to do better. Or maybe he could have caught it or whatever. That one does brilliantly. Full stretch. Launches himself across. Stops it from going in. Foden's going to be the one to take the corner. He's got short options in Doku. Haaland's lurking in the area. It does get put in. Oof. Near post Guardiola header. But no, it's too close if anything. Straight wide. Straight wide. Why was 2-0 not a choice? Hamster, you raise an excellent point. It probably should have been, if I'm being completely honest. It probably should have been. Dave, APGW, thank you very much. Last super chat of the season, I guess. Thanks for your work, Charlie, and the rest of Hammer Chat friends and family. Thank you, sir. That's very, very kind of you. Let me get your name in the top. We've had an insane. This is maybe the most amount of super chats I think we've maybe ever had. There was one time I had 3 lines. There was one time I had a third, like, was it this one? I had like a third one going on. So there has been more once, but thank you very much, Dave. Much, much appreciated. But outside of that, I mean, this is probably the second most. It's insane. Absolutely insane. They're on the ball again, Manchester City. And I say again as if they've ever lost possession of the ball, which they really haven't. Doku looks to try and take on Sufal. Pulls it back and then just finds De Bruyne, who second guesses himself. Maybe should have just gone for that long shot, bending it towards that final corner like he did last time. But maybe just not winning the first time. He just decided not to go for it. He should have probably, because he ends up trying to cut back out and go on his left foot towards the byline, and it just doesn't work out. They still have possession of the ball from the throw in, but at the same time, maybe could have done it. Back out wide to the corner quadrant. It's Guardiola on the ball in the left. Pulls it back to De Bruyne. Doku again. Nice work there from Mohamed Kudus. Does well. Under a lot of pressure there, Sufal wins a goal kick. There weren't really any options for him, so he does well there, but yeah. Yeah, I don't. I mean, this is the last watch long season. We might be doing stuff at the Euros. I don't entirely know what's happening. So in that sense, hey, good times. I mean, he lost, so we're doing a Tyson Fury and losing. But at the end of it, we'll complain about how we didn't actually lose and we should have won, but it was because of war or whatever the hell he said. I didn't watch it. I don't care about Tyson Fury, but you know. City 83% possession. I'm honestly surprised it's not higher, Paul, if I'm being honest about it. They just feel like they constantly have the ball. Guardiola through to Erling Haaland is a great opportunity, and Areola gets his foot to it, and it's still not 3. I mean, there is no way. There is no way. Did he say we're doing the Euros? I mean, that's good. Then I know we're doing the Euros because he said to me maybe, but I don't know. There is no way Haaland is not getting a goal in this game, but how he hasn't done it already, he probably would have been offside there anyway. And it's, again, Areola does well to come out and make himself big to stop it from getting any further forward. But knocking on the door is Haaland individually. Well, good. Then I shall see you for the Euros. I shall be here for the Euros. Again, we spoke about it this week, and there was lots of maybes about it. So I don't know. I have no idea, but you know. Good. Then we'll be doing. Then it's good to see Foden and Fury at least. And the only bit I've actually seen from the fight last night is the bit when Fury was like fully being rocked, and like Usyk just was like clobbering him, and he was like unable to stand up straight. Doku took a big old ball to the face, while the commentator was waxing lyrical about the pass from Bernardo Silva. What an outstanding ball, which they didn't come away with the possession, so it wasn't that good of a ball, really, was it? But Doku, as the ball comes across, Sofao just tries to hook it away, and it takes a big old straight to the dome. Doku. Takes a second to go down, but, you know, still. Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. I don't... Has he played... Do we have to play enough games? We're seeing him now. He's in the stands. He's injured. So he probably couldn't have played today anyway. But 4 appearances for Manchester City this season. Is that enough? Or is it 5 you need? I don't remember. I had Fury winning by 1 round. All of the boxing people I know... All my boxing friends said they had Usyk winning it by at least 3. By 2 or 3. So, but again, I didn't watch the fight, so I've got no idea. And also, I just naturally don't like Tyson Fury, so. And I like Usyk. Comes across as an honest, hardworking dude, you know. Whereas Fury, I don't know, just CBA. So foul on the ball. Tries to lay a shot to Kudus, who he just cannot get anywhere near facing the goal. This is maybe the most amount of stretch of possession and time on the ball we've had. And even then, none of the passes are going in a way we like. As we see a goal from Liverpool, I would assume. Semedo, Wolves are down to 10 and Alexis McAllister gets the header in. Also, isn't there a bunch of pictures of Usyk with West Ham shirts and doing crossed irons and stuff? So in that sense, you know. Still think the Souček Ward-Prowse combination can work. They just need time. I don't know. I mean, I guess my thing. I think it potentially could. I think it wouldn't under Lopetegui. I just don't see Souček being that big a role under Lopetegui. I think James Ward-Prowse defensively needs a lot of work. But if you were playing a more traditional 4-3-3 shape, and you could maybe make something work there, but you would still need another player alongside that, whether that be Alvarez sitting at the base or more likely sort of Paquetá sitting in the center or whatever it be. That's the way I would see it working out. But I just don't. James Ward-Prowse doesn't have the deep defensive knowledge to really nail it. In a position in a team where we're pressing a little bit more, or a little dink over the top, Antonio charging through, and Ortega comes out and just clears that one. But it's going to be a throw-in a dangerous area. We've managed to get our way forward. We've rugbyed our way forward here. Quickly taken the long throw, looking for Mikel Antonio. But obviously, it's a West Ham throw, so we lose out. And Manchester City are going to have a throw going the other way. So, you know, it's what it is. MJF, good to see you. I hope you come back from your injury soon, sir. I feel like we need you. But it does feel a little bit like that, doesn't it? It does feel a little bit like that way, Mr. Friedman. It does feel a little bit like that. But yeah. Yeah. Neither Suchek or James Ward-Prowse are fast enough or good enough on the ball to make it work. I think James Ward-Prowse, yeah, I mean, they both have problems. Is kind of where we're at. They both have problems. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those ones where I think James Ward-Prowse has a role to play under Lopetegui, quite an important role to play under Lopetegui. I don't know about Thomas Suchek, which is a shame because I love Thomas Suchek. I think he's a beautiful man. I think he's a great footballer. And he's the sort of guy I like about West Ham. You want to talk about, we always say about West Ham players like, oh, if you give effort, then they'll support you. And I think Thomas Suchek probably proves that doesn't exist a little bit. But bro will bleed for West Ham. Bro will get a bloody face and will just carry on playing. Love him. Newcastle are 3-0 up against Brentford away. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's just popped up for me as well. Flipping heck. Everton 1-0 up. Ooh, Everton. Who are Everton? Everton facing Arsenal. They are, aren't they? Little back heel, looking to try and work their way in. De Bruyne picks up the ball. Wide to Bernardo Silva. Short to Foden. Rodri hits it into the hands of Areola easily. Deflected off Rice. Arsenal are facing Everton. Am I mad? Footballers fake pro wrestling as well. That's what I'm talking about, Em. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Dinked forward. Can't get the control. Mikel Antonio can, though. Almost managed to wiggle his way through again. We're going to need those. We're going to need those counter-attacks to be... As much as it's nice to win a throw-in and stuff, we're going to need to be more effective on the counter-attack. We can't really get past... Once we give them the chance to drop back, it's too late. You know what I mean? Packard goes down. Carry on. Aaron Cresswell. Jesus Christ, I forgot he's playing. Big ball. That's a great ball across to Mohamed Kudus, who picks up the ball, cuts away on his left-hand foot, back onto his right, hits it. Ortega with the save. Kudus. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We need to play fast. We can't play slow. We can't afford to, let's just take this throw in and move away from there. We can't afford that today. We need to be quick. And that big crossfield diag from Aaron Cresswell. Beautiful stuff. That's what I want. That's what I want. Straight into the feet of Kudus. Let him cook. Let him run at him. That's what I want. Always. We're cutting across to Everton. Arsenal. And it is, yeah. Everton are 1-0 up. I think it's Garner with the goal. I think it's a free kick. Seems to just go straight in. I don't know if it's a good deflection. So someone saying deflection of Rice. I didn't see that in the replay. But a cheer from the Manchester City crowd as I assume they figure out that Arsenal have gone 1-0 down as well. I'll tell you what. I'm close on a couple of these. 2 minutes of injury time and a right-footed goal for Manchester City. I've won £25. I'm close. I'm real close. What's that one? Yellow card on a 2 minute or right-footed goal for us. Okay, right. We can discount that one. We can discount that one. But a 2 minute injury time and a right-footed goal for Manchester City, and I've won 25 quid. City being kind. They don't need to do anything at this point, realistically. Just defend professionally, and then you can take your time and just try to open up and not play with too much pressure. Arsenal are 1-0 down. You're 2-0 up. Just defend professionally, and it's, it's still possible, Collingwood. It's still possible. You never know. You never know. Yeah, I'm fine with seeing, like I said, I'd like to see Mubama and I'd like to see Urfi. I think Casey, it would just be harsh on him to play today. But those two specifically, I would like to see come on at some point. Akanji on the ball. Again, City just passing their way around. There's no real pressure. Guardiola Finds Doku again. It's just, and it's the acceleration he has as well. Pardon me, twice. He picks up the ball and he just holds it, and then he could just be gone past you within a split second. It's unbelievable. He's so good. And he does have like technical deficiencies, don't get me wrong, but like to find a player with that sort of acceleration, that sort of pace. Oh, beautiful play. Someone goes down in the air. I'm not sure who it was, but easily collected there from Areola as Manchester City tried to pass their way through the middle. Seeing another goal from Liverpool Wolves. I think it's 2-0 Liverpool. Cross in from the box. Oh, Kwanzaa, I think maybe gets a touch to it. Well, it looks like it might be an own goal by the way he celebrates, to be honest. 2-0 Liverpool. Yeah, I think there's a... It's such a rare combination to find someone who's just that quick, can play with both feet. It's just ridiculous, you know? It's just ridiculous. Nice turn from Mohamed Kudus. Does well. Tries to wiggle his way through. He does well there. He does well. Good work from him. Plays it out wide to Aaron Cresswell. He's got Emerson just ahead of him. We need to see Cresswell in that sort of half space area, getting into those sort of late crossing positions, early crossing positions. Nice crossfield dive from James Ward-Prowse. We haven't seen that enough this season. Played across. Going to be a corner. We'll take it. We'll take it. We got a corner, lads. We've got a corner. We haven't seen enough of that this season, you know. James Ward-Prowse getting in those sort of deep positions to dictate play. We've sort of not been able to find it enough, and just there, and we saw it a couple of times in the second half as well in the Luton game, just picking it up, sort of relatively near the halfway line, just starting to hit those big crossfield diags that he can do, and it's causing them problems. Those crossfield diags are the things that are creating us opportunities, so we need to hit those more often. Aaron Cresswell, another person who's capable of doing it, but we just need to get him in a situation where he can push slightly further forward, so he can start hitting those early crosses, whipping them in towards the area in those crossfield diags. Corner comes in from James Ward-Prowse towards the back post, dinks down. Mohamed Kudus. Oh my god! What? What a goal! Jesus Christ! Mohamed Kudus has just scored an outrageous overhead kick. Holy hell! Oh my god! What a goal! If you're a neutral, you're having bangers today. Gets whipped in from James Ward-Prowse towards the back post. Mohamed Kudus is there alongside Mavropanos. He gets a touch and then just... That is an outrageous finish from Mohamed Kudus. Full-on overhead kick. Under pressure from players, just strikes it so clean. And that's not... You see overhead kicks hitting off shins like Wayne Rooney's against Manchester City and stuff like that. Unreal from Mohamed Kudus. 2-1. Pep is fuming. Holy hell. That is incredible. I mean, look, I'm not going to say game on. I'm not going to be ridiculous enough to even begin to suggest game on. But that is an insanely good goal from Mohamed Kudus. Oh, and Arsenal gone 1-1. It's Tomiyasu with the goal. You'll have to see it. A cheeky Tomiyasu goal. Why not? Why not? Holy hell, how's that happened? How have we just scored an absolute screamer in this game of all games? There we go. VAR was checked, but there we go. Unbelievable. I don't disagree, Dean. It's insane. Insane. I mean, goal of the season isn't even an exaggeration. That was ridiculous. The ball gets whipped across. A couple of big men at the back. You've got Mavropanos attacking it at the back post. I think there's someone else there. And it sort of bounces and Kudus sort of flicks it up in the air, trying to just get the ball away from sort of the Manchester City players lurking and potentially even Mavropanos. And there's no real... It's not like, oh, he sets himself up for the overhead kick or this is a good opportunity to have the overhead kick. He just sort of flicks it and then he just goes for it. I'm in shock still. It's an absolutely unbelievable overhead kick. And the way he leaves his feet is incredible. Incredible. I don't dare. I don't dare personally, DTT, but I'll tell you what. I wouldn't blame you if you did. Unbelievable stuff. He is fully a star. He is fully a star. What foot was it? I think it was left foot. So I'm not going to get the right foot on. I'm not going to get the right foot tick on match bingo. Congratulations to whoever won, by the way. Someone who's won £25 on match bingo. I don't know if you're in here, but Randy Orton, congratulations on winning the £25 on match bingo. Whoever that is. Big. You got to respect it. You got to respect a username like that. You really do. You really do. Oh, that counts as a goal. Or well, it might not be that one, to be fair, on the 8th. Rodri dinks it across towards Doku. 4 minutes of stoppage time, so we've got 3.5 to go. Short to Akanji. Plays it out wide. Doku looks to take on Sofao. Plays it in across. Erling Haaland again gets a touch on it. Flicks it round the defender. Can't get the finish. Can't get the finish. Doku again just proving to be an absolute handful for us. And Haaland just gets around Kurt Zuma, gets his foot onto it, and it just ends up going over. Should have included a 2-1 option in the poll. In the poll. Zuma back to Areola. Looking for that big long ball again. It's gonna be a throw. Unsurprisingly. Look, all I'll say is he came back very big. He came back from a potential career-ending injury, huge. Supposedly was a point where he might not even be allowed to do RKOs anymore. Massive. You can take from that what you will. Take from that what you will. Was it worthy of being Ashton's overhead? Yeah, I agree. I strongly agree, because then I would win. Ashton's or Kudus? That's a good question. In fact, we go to the poll, because as previously stated, I do love a poll. What was the most popular? 4-0, unsurprisingly. The most unlikely score, according to chat, was the one where we scored a goal. 11% of 3-1, 5-0 of 3-0 were both 27%. Sorry, 28%. And then 4-0 got 31%. Better overhead kick. Ashton. We'll do Kudus, Ashton. Carroll's another good one. That's a great shout, William. Kudus on the ball. Have we scored any other overhead kicks? I can't think of another one. Is there any other overhead kicks? I can include one more on the poll. We could do 4 on a poll. Played across to Cresswell. Gets the ball, gets the control. Ooh, Vaste versus Brighton. Was that an overhead kick? I've got played across. Can't get sent to it. I can't. I've got Vaste, Brighton, Vaste. Okay, Vaste. I was gonna say because I can't. I've got this latent. I've got this bit in the back of my brain that says Vaste scored an overhead kick. There we go. That's the 4. That's the 4 options. Sinclair. Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't for us, though, was it? It was whatchamacallit? QPR. Manchester City working their way forward. Big dink over the top. It's a nice ball. Looking for Foden, but it's a bit too far ahead. And Areola can come and collect that one. Turbo, good to see. Overhead kick from Carroll was a special one. Carroll was better, to be fair. I mean, it's close, though. And I guess Geo's here because my stream's so far behind. So, Geo, best overhead... What are we saying? Overhead kick. Kudus, Carroll, Vazte, or Dean Ashton? Which one?
Dean Ashton. And then maybe that one. I think that one was better than Carroll's, and I think it was better than his bicycle kick against Brentford. But I think Ashton shrugged off Rio Ferdinand in his prime to do that.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, that's fair. And he's running backwards at the same time.
Yeah, I'll say Ashton because, like I said, he had world-class Rio behind him at the same time as well. But sensational goal by Kudus, though. But yeah, Ashton for me.
Yeah, I mean I don't know entirely how he's decided to pull that off with And it's not even like he has space. Like Manchester City players are in the vicinity and he's just gone, nah, bang. And keeps it down as well. And it's not even like Rooney's hits off the shin or whatever. Like it's good, man. It's real good. I mean, it's kind of all I want to talk about because the rest of the game is bad, man. It's real bad.
Yeah, I mean, 80 seconds, well, 79 seconds. I mean, fantastic goal by Foden. Ward-Prowse just gets done completely. MCIWHU has been a busy boy again, hasn't he? I'd done one bet for this game myself, and it was for MCIWHU to make 7 or more saves. At 6-1, it's already won. He's been busy. But City are doing a lot of long-distance shots, which is not always something they do. They tend to sort of try to get almost pass into the back of the net sometimes. But when you're watching them play a neutral game, so when they're playing Champions League or something, I always get frustrated watching them. Sometimes it's pass. I'm like, just hit it. Somebody's like, why are you not shooting? But today it feels like they've almost all had permission to take long range efforts because Foden's obviously scored one. He had another one punched away by Areola. Akanji's had one held. De Bruyne's had one tipped round the post, which was a fantastic save. He's been a busy keeper, but when they made it 2-0, just sort of shrugged. I was like, what is it? That Kudus goal though was special. But since then, I thought we almost started to have a little bit of a go actually the last 5-10 minutes. I feel like City have got a little bit of nerves creeping in because at the same time as we scored, just before it, Arsenal equalised. You know, at one point, it was 2-0 Man City, 1-0 Everton. 2 minutes later, it's 2-1 Man City, 1-1 at the Emirates. You know, Arteta's going to be telling his players, believe West Ham are going to get an equaliser because when you're at the Emirates, you don't know we are playing crap. All you know is it's 2-1. What you don't know is it was completely against the run of play. It was a sensational individual effort, and actually City been battering us. They don't know the context of the half. So they'll start to believe, actually, maybe West Ham can go and do us a bit of a favour. But it's been a poor half, but it's what I think everybody expected. I'm just happy that we got to see an incredible moment from Kudus.
Yeah, I think I think we've been too slow. That's my big thing. I think you just do whatever to try and stop City, right? And we know what we're going to do.
This is me. This is me. I'm the same as Devastator. Kudus goals made his Sunday. Doesn't care about the final result. We'll have a smile. I'm a bit like that as well. Wasn't that bothered before the game. I'm still not that bothered. I'm just glad it's not hiding, and we've got to see something positive come out of the game. I'm almost just
not hiding yet.
No, because you imagine Pep's going to rip into them. I think if we went in 2-0, Pep would have said, just take it easy second half. It's warm. FA Cup next week. This lot aren't up for it. Just get a third and just pass the ball around. But actually now you look pissed off when you conceded.
Yeah. I think we just need to, this is my thing. We just need to be faster. Like defensively, you just do whatever. You just sit deep. You hold on for dear life, and you see what you can do. But it's just that I don't care if it's long to Mikel Antonio, and there was a time where the ball would come to Mikel Antonio and we sort of take a throw in, which for me isn't enough against Manchester City because once their players get back, we're in trouble. We're not going to be able to break them down. So if anything, we can't really give those moments away. We sort of have to be on point and be rapid with these things. But if they do get back, I want to see those big crossfield diags coming in again. Cresswell out to Kudus caused problems the first time. Second time it was whoever James Ward-Prowse across to Kudus caused problems. I want to see those big crossfield diags because again, if we can just switch play that fast, which is something we don't tend to do, we tend to pass away across. No, just ping it across. I'm not fussed about any of that. Just ping it across to Kudus. He will have a bit of space, and then we can create a little bit, and then maybe we could dare to dream and get a second. It might be 5-2 to Manchester City, but we'll get a second. And listen, I think ultimately I agree with you. Like I do think Manchester City will go on to get a couple more. I don't necessarily think it's going to end like this, but we've scored a great goal. Maybe get to see a bit of Earthy at some point during the game. Yeah, it's fine. Last game of the season, we just move on with our lives, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. Anyway, do you want to go for a piddle while I interact with this?
Shall be back in a moment.
Right then, let's see what you're all saying in the live chat while Charlie pops to the toilet. Jeff said, Moyes cared about the result. Earthy and Alvarez would be coming on at half time. Dan was saying he's waiting for them to shot the Kudus goal. I think they were trying to with the Souček handball, weren't they? Which is ridiculous. But anyway. Right, keep your thoughts coming in about what you think of the half time. Wonderful life says Paquette is showboating towards the end of the half. once that City transfer. I think he's looked all right today. Getting the ball away on the edge of our box, but apart from that, I think he's looked okay, to be honest with you. Steve saying Charlie's the dream one. Yeah, he knows. He looks at Steve. In fairness, Charlie also said we will probably concede a couple of other goals. Nobody's expecting us to go on and win, I don't think. Maybe somebody will be, but certainly neither of us are. It was just nice to witness the thing. Tim says wants City to win the league. Don't get me wrong, but bloody make them earn it. Yeah, I think a bit like that, really. I think that's what we're hoping to see. Souček offside. Can't be offside direct from a corner. Chris, so I don't know, unless you're talking about something else. I don't know. It was a handball. They were looking for the handball. A bit sort of hit me in the chest and his thigh or whatever. Robert said he's glad that Moyes is off ski. And Major saying, remember my comment about doing a little review about goal season? Yes, I did. I think point proven. This is why handing out goal of the season before the end of the season is a silly thing to do, really. But to be fair, because Major never heard them announce the winner. Other people seem to think it was given to Kudus for his goal against Brentford, which now listen, it goes from Kudus to Kudus for his goal against City. If you think that's the best goal of the season, it just goes to prove what you're giving out a goal of the season for before the end of the season. Anyway, especially hopefully Chelsea haven't given theirs off as well, because that was a ridiculous goal from Caicedo. Right, keep it coming in. Chippy said both goals down to James Ward-Prowse mistakes and Man City's ability. The second one, I'm not going to give him to downplay Ward or sort of criticize Ward-Prowse too much. I think it's just an exceptional goal, but it's one of them everybody could do a bit better. And then the first one, Ward-Prowse is far too tight to Phil Foden, but it's an incredible individual strike. Tony said, can you imagine if we draw and then Arsenal go and lose? That would be funny. To be fair, just Arsenal drawing would be funny. I'd enjoy it. If we make it to those nerves at the Emirates are going to increase quite a lot. Devil's saying the players are fighting on the ball. They do. I thought that as well. I think at the start, I thought Emerson was the only one that looked comfortable playing at the Etihad, and he went on an amazing run. Kudus as well, but that's about it, really. The rest of them are a little bit just get rid of the ball, don't want the ball kind of thing. Kudus says, some player says, Sam, can't wait for next season. Think we're going to keep Paqueta as well, from what I've heard from City fan. Yeah, that's just his own thoughts. But again, there's not much talk in City that they're going to try and sign Lucas Paqueta. I think we'll keep Kudus, to be honest with you. I feel confident. Side clubs, it's not Areola's got a cracked eye socket. It's Ederson. It's the City keeper that's got a cracked eye socket. Hence why. Lassie said, good goal. You didn't celebrate. I think when you score a goal when you're losing, you're still losing. I think it's, I don't know, a bit embarrassing, maybe, isn't it? You run off with cheering when you've only just made it 2, but you're still getting beat, aren't you? Steve said changes at half time. I guess this is for the live chat, really. What changes would you guys make at half time? I don't know, to be honest with you. There's none that are like, I think, jumping out at me. I think the bench is a bit underwhelming. Probably like see Earthy on, but I don't know where to put him. Maybe take Antonio off for somebody. Maybe Antonio for Earthy and put Kudus up front or something. I don't know. Nothing. I've not really got a strong desire. Yank would like Alvarez on for Ward-Prowse. Stevie would like Ward-Prowse on. Sorry, Earthy on for Ward-Prowse. Mace would like him on for Souček. Yeah, I'd like to see Alvarez on for Ward-Prowse, says Brent. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that one, to be honest with you. Like I said, I think he was at Paul for the first one, but he's possibly the one that can actually recycle possession a little bit for West Ham. Rick would like Earthy for Ward-Prowse. Fox says Alvarez. I think the two, going by the live chat, I think Earthy and Alvarez on for Ward-Prowse and Souček. I wouldn't put Earthy in midfield personally. I wouldn't put him on it. It's the most common call. Ethan and Steve saying the same, which is Earthy for Ward-Prowse. I personally wouldn't bring him on and put him into centre midfield when he's got a lot of defensive responsibility in there, and I think it'd be quite tough for him. I'd put him on further up the pitch, like I said, either out on the right or the left, and then put Kudus down the middle. But I'm not against Earthy coming on. I'm just against him coming on sort of in that defensive midfield area. Not for me. I think not quite throwing him under the bus, but it's a difficult role to put him on for.
Same reason I wouldn't want Casey to play today. It just feels harsh on him, and I think I'm not saying Earthy couldn't do that role, but against Manchester City, it feels like a bit of a deepness. You could. I mean, he'd have to play on the wings if we're going to stick with formation, right? And I don't necessarily think that would be a bad idea. He's good with the ball at his feet. He can run. He can do stuff. He can link up.
I'd maybe bring him on for Antonio and put Kudus down the middle. Because one thing I feel with Kudus in the last 15 minutes of most games is he starts to tire towards the end, and understandably so. He gives a lot. So come the 75th minute, he's starting to wane a little bit. So I'd possibly bring Earthy on for Antonio. And there's nothing against Antonio. It's just the way we're playing and whatnot. And leave Kudus central so he can have a bit more of a breather from now. So that hopefully, come the 80th minute, he's still got a little bit of energy in him. And give Earthy a go up against, maybe not Kyle Walker, maybe put him on the right-hand side up against Gvardiol. Regardless way you put him on, he's up against a bloody good player, isn't he? But yeah, I'd like to see Earthy at some point, just not necessarily centre midfield. Unless he completely switches it and takes off Creswell and puts Earthy on and goes 4-2-3-1 or something. Go for it. Attack City.
I guess actually it probably makes sense because in my head I'm like, could just make the ball stick like Mikel Antonio can, but actually, every time the ball comes towards Mikel Antonio, he's got Diaz around him, he's got Gvardiol around him, whoever it is, Akanji, whoever it is, just standing on top of him. Actually, you might as well play Kudus and just play the balls over the top instead and get him sprinting. If you can get Manchester City's players sprinting backwards in a foot race against Kudus, all of a sudden that becomes quite dangerous compared to Mikel Antonio trying to control it and spin, which isn't really going to work today. So maybe I don't usually like Kudus up front, but Geo, you've sold me a little bit there. I like that idea.
Well, I'm not trying to convince you. It's just what I would do for a little bit of fun in the second half, really, because I think the City players they look a little bit afraid of him. Actually, even before his goal, when he was picking the ball up, they were 2 or 3 were getting around him and starting to just nudge him a little bit and try and foul him and whatever. And he was strong, holding on to the ball. So I think there's a little bit of fear there in that City team. Now they've seen what he can do. It's a case of bloody hell, can't let this guy near the 18-yarder. And Rodri, and I appreciate we talking about Kudus up front, but I think when Kudus wins the ball as a striker, he will be up against Rodri, really, because of how deep we sit. And Rodri don't like these kind of attacking players that will run at him with the ball. He's not keen on those ones, I don't think. I've seen him struggle against, not that he struggles often, but when he does, it's against the direct, strong, fast players. So get him running at Rodri and try and get him in the book or something. Just never know. You just never know.
Thoughts before you go?
I don't really have much, to be honest with you, Charlie. I'm just, after the first 2 minutes, I was feeling the worst, and I was thinking, just don't let it be 5-6. Like I could accept losing. I've already resigned to defeat, but just not to hiding, right? I just don't want a beating. And someone said earlier, I don't mind losing, just make them earn it, make it competitive. And I think whilst we've been poor in the first half and City have been really good, it's 2-1 at half time. It's become competitive now. City, Pep's team talks changed at half time, and they're going to have to be responsible, Man City. And I think you might see them just a little bit more. I felt like they were not quite gung-ho, but they're very quick to attack us in the first half. I'm not sure they'll be that quick in the second. I think they might try and start to pass us to death in the second half. I don't think we've barely seen the ball in the first half. I think we're going to see even less of it in the second half, actually. I think we're ready to see City masterclass and just pass their way to the title for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Jim, see you at full time for the review.
Thank you, Bevo. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you want someone with actual knowledge, unlike me, Geo will be back at full time to discuss the match in full detail. But before that, we have 45 minutes of football to go. West Ham 2, Manchester City 1. Not quite at kickoff time just yet, but there is a timer in the top corner, which was exactly how far behind Joe will be, because I will be a little bit. But yeah, I could have think all of a sudden it changes things a little bit. They do look a little bit, just a tad, there is a chink in the armour that we could attack. And like I said, I think if we play a bit faster, be that direct forward straight lines, or be that big crossfield diag switching up quickly. If we can hit that quick, if we can be fast about it, then I think there are little things we can take away from this that we might not necessarily have been able to in the first half. I think Gio's right. I think Pep will come out, and I think it'll be his halftime team talk will be very angry, and I think it'll be a different scenario. As I'm watching the West Ham players walk out the tunnel to see if I can see any changes. I didn't see any. I do think it will be a different vibe from them. And as long as they stay professional, as long as they stay, calm and collected at the back and not do anything too silly, then it should be quite easy for them, if we're being honest for them. But that moment there has shown that there are options. There was the moment just before with the crossfield diag towards Kudus, which shows that there's something there to be got at. We just have to find those passes that little bit faster, and then we just maybe could get a goal. I doubt it. I'm not sitting here even I'm not even expecting it. Let's still go with expecting. I was trying to say something else, but let's just go with expecting. I'm not even expecting it. But 45 minutes, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I couldn't see any other changes either. Kez, thank you very much for the confirmation. No changes for us. I didn't see any. One difference we could make, I guess, would be formation. But again, I don't think we will. And I didn't see any changes from Manchester City either. So 45 minutes of football to go of the Premier League season. West Ham versus Manchester City. 2-1. Manchester City lead the champions-elect at the break. 1-1 in the Arsenal game. Apparently the second halves are going to begin identically. And there we go. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run two things. It's David, I say what, it's rare I've been accused of negativity today or this season. So I'll take it for you. We're all positivity from here on out. All positivity. What did I say? What did I say before? APGW. I said ABGQ, didn't I? I felt it coming out of my mouth a second time there. Do you know what it is? It's not the LGBTQ plus community, although shout out to my people, them. It wasn't even that. Do you know what it is? It's my brain went for ADGQ, like the speed running event. That's what my brain naturally jumped towards. So I said Q. Apologies. Dave, of course, APGW. Acid D Punch, Drunk Gaming, Wrestling, of course. Nice little cut out there from West Ham. Paquetá looking to play it into Kudus quicker there. Again, just ends up slowing it down, passing back. Interesting to see Paquetá and Kudus linking up on the same side, though. Maybe we're just going to look to sort of lob it all on the one side. Try to see if we can play it forward that way, maybe. Sort of forget the left-hand side entirely, potentially. We'll see how it goes. Playing forward, Areola lofts it forward. Looking for Kudus. Handball against him, apparently. His ball control is very good, isn't it? He's very capable on the ball, is Mohamed Kudus. Very capable on the ball. Should say I've changed out of my lovely Dean jumper because it's just too warm to be wearing a jumper today. I want to back the beef, but it's just too warm to be wearing a jumper today. But follow Dean on Twitter, Dean Arsh, for all your classic stuff. There we go. David coming through with one of the more confusing messages I've ever seen. I'm all fired up now, expecting victory. Hashtag Moyes out. There's a lot to contend with there, David, but I'm loving the energy. We're going to win this game. I'm here for it, David. I apologize, Mr. Mason. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Imagine we get the ball. Imagine we get an early goal. There's lots of imaginary stuff going. It could happen. Bernardo Silva on the ball, wide on the right-hand side. James Ward-Prowse looking to sort of come out and meet. And yeah, it is interesting. He's definitely a lot further. We have changed formation slightly. There is that. It's not necessarily the change in personnel, but I do think we've changed formation. And I don't know whether I'm willing to say Paquetá's in a sort of central position, but he seems very, very close to Mohamed Kudus. And James Ward-Prowse is a lot further out on the left-hand side. Emerson looks to go across to meet Bernardo Silva. Back to Kevin De Bruyne just outside the area. Manchester City passing it around, trying to find their way into the box. Can't quite manage it yet. Still short passing it around. Pings it to Gaviel. He's a lot more central, is Paquetá now. Maybe more of a 4-4-1-1, 4-4-2 type thing. With him sort of in a central position with Mikel Antonio or just behind him. Potentially is where Paquetá is, because there definitely has been a little bit of a switch at halftime. A little bit of a switch. Poll second half result. We can do that. We can do that. So let's end the overhead kick poll and see where we're at on that one. Then I'll vibe a second half result. Give me some results. What are you thinking for second half? What do you reckon? And I'll put the first 4 in a poll. Haaland almost manages to get his way through. Good foot from Mavropanos, shot from range. Goes flying wide. What were your overhead kick results? Best overhead kick. 0% said Vazte. 14% said Ashton. 29% said Carroll. 55% said Kudus. I think Carroll is a difficult one to fight against for me, but Kudus with 55% of the over 500 votes. Chelsea going 2-0 up. Raheem Sterling scoring a very Manchester City goal. Oh, Bournemouth got one back. And Bournemouth instantly getting one back. Ball whipped into the box. Back stick. Nice control. Deflection off Badiashile and it's in. Interesting. There we go. Vibes. Right, let's have a look. So what we got? Let's do final score prediction. Final score prediction. De Bruyne almost charging Ariella down. Can't quite get there. First ones were 2-2. 3-1 City. Foden with a long shot just wide. Can't make it happen. Little dink out from Emerson. Sticks his foot out. Foden going for it from range. He wants another one. He wants another one. We've got space for one more. We've got 2 2-2s. Lee says 2-2. Dean says 2-2. Richard says 3-1. It's, yeah, Vazte got 0 technically, but I don't know whether or not that counts as like, he might have got some 3-2 to City. Thank you very much. But he might have got some. It just says 0% because of the rounding. You know how it does those weird rounding, which is why it's never 100%. There we go. Poll in chat. De Bruyne looking for the through ball, looking, I don't know if it's for Haaland or Foden, but it goes in between both of them. Paquetá plays it quickly to Mohamed Kudus. We've definitely switched it up and I like it. Mohamed Kudus picks up the ball, turns 2 Manchester City players, storms forward, finds Mikel Antonio wide on the right-hand side. Momentum slows down a little bit. Antonio looking to try and flick it into the path of Paquetá, loses out, and then he bounces off Guardiola as well. I also remembered when I was looking at a poll, of course, the Dean Ashton overhead kick from the Mark Noble testimonial as well. Although that was more a sight as a kick as well, wasn't it, if we're being honest about it? That was more a sight as a kick as well. Ball out wide to the right-hand side, inside that corner quadrant. Manchester City, Bernardo Silva plays it in. De Bruyne, Walker, back to De Bruyne. He's got Foden inside of him. He finds Rodri slightly behind instead. Short to Guardiola. Guardiola back to Rodri. They're just taking their time here, Manchester City. Trying to pass their way in. Pinged across towards Mohamed Doku. Not Mohamed Doku. It's wrong. I was thinking of Kudus. Jeremy Doku. Tries to take on Soufal as well. Stops it. Good work. There is definitely a nervous energy to Manchester City right now. They would like a third goal, but there is definitely a nervous energy. Kudus was machete kick. Is that what you call it? It's like, is that machete kick? I don't actually know. Let's all collectively will a draw and see what happens. I'm here for it, Mike. Let's do a bit of group manifesting. Foden to take the corner. Whips it across. Header away from James Ward-Prowse. Hooked away from Mohamed Kudus. Mikel Antonio's charging it down. Bit of head tennis back towards Goldo from Manchester City. Haaland gets the control down. He's pulled back, but referee says play on. We won the ball back, but it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a free kick. Yeah, I'm not against the little change in formation. I wasn't expecting it from Moyes, but I kind of like it. It should, in theory, allow us to be a lot more effective on the counter-attack, or be more effective on the counter-attack. It is kind of just... It is kind of just giving up on the idea of our left-hand side completely. But at the same time, I'm okay with it. Accidentally having my 6th rocket lolly of the match. Jesus Christ. First of all, respect the rocket lolly. Just getting them in general. Love a rocket lolly myself. Secondly, 6, I back it. 6, Jeremy? That's insane. I back it wholeheartedly. I had 2 feasts yesterday. The chocolate ice cream. Dinking from the free kick, headed away. Not quite 6, but for a feast, it's a lot, isn't it? Dinked across to Doku, gets the control. 1v1 against Vladimir, so foul again. Paquetá comes across to meet him, forces him to go back centrally. Yeah, it's sort of more a 4-4. A 4-4-1-1 is maybe the way I would word it. Or a 4-4, you could say 4-4-2. I mean, you could argue a 4-3-3 as well. But you've got Emerson sort of stepping that little bit further forward and looking like he's in a more traditional sort of left midfield spot, with Paquetá right across onto that right-hand side, which obviously is going to sort of reduce the efficacy, the effectiveness of Emerson, just not quite being able to utilize him to his strongest abilities. But it does sort of allow us to maybe make the most out of Mohamed Kudus today, which is probably the right thing to do. But it does mean that in these situations when we're deep and we're passing it around amongst each other in our left corner quadrant, it's going to make it difficult to get out of there as effectively. Paquetá comes across, gets involved. The pass in towards Emerson was nice. We lose out. Shot from De Bruyne from range. Takes a deflection. Doku's going to get there. Paquetá storms across to try and nip it in. He has turned up today, to be fair to him. There was a nutmeg Onsu foul on the way through, and Doku loses out. It's going to be a throw-in to us. We take it. We take it. Feast are the best handout. I bloody love a feast. I can't lie to you. I bloody love a feast. I was in what supermarket was in? I was in one of the supermarkets the other day, and there's like the box of 4 were on sale, and I was like, it would be rude not to. It would be rude not to. We need that end of season bell. I had a bell on the stream on A-Top Lad the other day. A celebratory one. Didn't even need it to beat the boss. It was just a celebratory one. But we could go for a bell now if the people vote for it. Feasts were beast in the 90s. Yeah. These people, were they the ones who were called festivals as well? Or was that a different chocolate bar entirely? Is that a different ice cream bar entirely? Played out wide to Doku. Looking to try and take on Sofal. Good interception there from Souček, just in the right position at the right time. Plays out quickly to Mohamed Kudus, which is nice. But again, just he backs out a little bit too fast for me sometimes. That's a nice ball over the top, though. Looking for Emerson, who again is just a lot further forward. Paquetá looking to just ping it into him quickly. Doesn't quite happen. Manchester City come away with the ball. Happy feet were epic. I never had them. I remember them existed, but I never had them. White Magnums, unreal. Entirely different, were they? White Magnums, unreal as well. Didn't know they were different. I thought they were like the same. It was just a credit crunch naming situation. Good interception there again from Thomas Souček, getting the block before the ball can get to Foden, and that time he had to move towards it as well. Good work, good work. Gonna be throwing wide on the right-hand side to Manchester City, inside the corner quadrant. Yeah, an interesting sub-changer. Interesting tactical switch, and I think it's better for us, but it does mean our left-hand side is a lot less effective. Manchester City passing the ball around just outside the area. Guardiola back to Rodri. Short to Walker, who's very central alongside Guardiola, just on either side of Rodri, just really flooding that area. But then again, so are we. I mean, the amount of Claret shirts. We've got literally every single player back. There isn't a single player who isn't back for West Ham right now as they're slowly passing it around. Mikel Antonio politely jogging after the ball with no real intention of putting pressure on them, if we're being honest about it. Ball gets played forward. They find a bit of space, but De Bruyne is forced to go backwards. The positioning's good from us. There is that. The positioning is pretty good from us. We've got those 2 banks just sat there, stopping them from getting really into the position they want to be. De Bruyne Slots it inwards. Back shot from range. Rodri gets a goal. It's 3-1. And I think Areola was maybe wrong-footed by a deflection. I'm not sure, but it was very close to Areola, who looks like he goes down quickly. And he manages to sort of get a touch to it, I think, but it ends up in a net. I want to say it took a deflection. Let me see. You're slightly ahead of me. Knobbly Bobbly is unreal as well. I want to say it took a deflection. VR. We're seeing VR chats. Was there something that would be VR worthy in there? Ball gets played back to Rodri. It hits him. Maybe Erling Haaland offside. Is that it? Does it take a deflection? I don't think it does. Rodri, yeah, it doesn't even take a deflection off anyone. Areola just... Maybe there's a situation where I think Areola sees it late. As the ball comes across and Haaland there maybe trying to swing a foot at it. Maybe I could give Areola a bit of leeway and say he was expecting Haaland to get a touch or something. But yeah, Areola unsighted ends up being a bit of a disappointing one to concede, if we're being honest about it. Because I think defensively we were doing quite well. The positioning was nice. Lots of people in good positions. The little switch up we'd made formation-wise I was into. But again, another one of those long shots that we'd mentioned at halftime and mentioned in the game just comes in and... Yeah. Shame. 3-1 Manchester City. It's a shame. Double gold caramel billionaire. What's those ones that have a weird name? Like, I want to say there's like J's in there and U's in there maybe. I don't know if there's J's in there, but it's called like goose, something like that. I don't know. They're fancy though. They're like a fancy Magnum. Different flavors. They're quite good. Oh yeah, just passed it into the net. I would like to see him. I mean, I'd like to see him at any point anyway. I'd want to see Mubama as well. Give the youngsters a run out. I want to see Mubama as well. Like I say, Casey I wouldn't put on today just because it feels unfair. But Earthy I would put on for certain, 100%. And Mubama I would want to see it happen. But yeah. Kurtzima trying to keep that one in. Goes out for a corner instead. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care if it's relegation or whatever it is. They should face some sort of punishment, though, right? Like, it feels like there should be some sort of punishment at least. It'll never happen because, why would it happen? But it should face some sort of punishment. A bit of argy-bargy in the box as the cross comes in from Manchester City. Nothing can come of it. Bit of head tennis ensues. Shot from Foden once more into the hands of Areola. I can't remember this commentator's name, but he is desperate for Foden. I have a problem with commentators who sort of like commentate the story as opposed to the match. And like every time Foden takes a shot, his voice is going insane because he wants to be like, Foden hat-trick wins it for Manchester City. That clip that they'll use on every single advert next season and every single time, Aguero, that thing, right? But the Aguero one felt natural. Every time this happens, every time Foden takes a shot, he's like, Foden! And I'm like, bro, he's not even close to scoring right now. He probably will get a hat-trick, but every single time you scream, it's like straight into the hands of Areola. Let's tranquilo here, my brother. Let's tranquilo here. Do you think we'll score again? Says Mohammed. No. Well, we could. I doubt it, but we could. But I doubt it. But yes, one of my big pet peeves is doing commentary for adverts, commentary for compilations, and not just commentating the match itself. Like Manchester City are 3-1 up. Arsenal aren't winning. We scored an insane goal against the run of play. It's not, if Foden scores, it's not going to be a big deal, you know? Oh, that's a break pass around. Good tackle again from Thomas Souček. Just playing it through a bit nicely here, Manchester City. They're starting to find their mojo a little bit again here. Nicely slotted around, little back heel, nicely done. Trying to find their way in. Palace 4-0 up. Did I just see that? Is Palace 4-0 up? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I should be checking my match bingo. Desperate. I mean, I guess we'll have the Euros potentially to do it as well, but I need 4 substitutes to get that line from West Ham, so that's not going to happen. What one was this one? 2 minutes of injury time. There's a potential there, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'm so close. I'm so close on a couple of them. You can see along the top there how many, a couple. I'm close on a couple, but it's just not going to happen, is it? It's just not going to happen for me today. It's already happened for RKO, but for me, you know. Palace are 5-0 up. What? What? What are you talking about? But they're facing Villa as well. Let me... Just help people see. Doku. De Bruyne, nicely done to find Foden. Pulls it back for Haaland. Off. Ricochets off. I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Kurt Zuma, who seemed to not even be aware of what was going on there. Yeah, Palace are 4-0 up against Villa. Good evening indeed. Pulled in, and yeah. And to be fair, Kurt Zuma maybe does know a little bit about it. Not much, but he knows something about it. Yeah, they're 4-0 up against Villa. I mean, I say I'm shocked, but that is also the Villa side who went out to the Olympiacos side, who were 3rd in our group this year. So at the same time, I don't know if I'm that shocked. But yeah, 4-0, madness. Absolute madness. De Bruyne whips it in. Oh, Areola comes out unconvincingly there. Diaz is there. Yeah, but Areola gets nowhere even close to it. Diaz gets a header on it. And Haaland was lurking just behind him. Haaland and Doku. A little bit of instructions between the two as we're gonna get another corner on the opposite side. I think I just heard the commentator say Alvarez is going to come on. So foul Haaland, having a little conversation on the pitch there. I'll tell you what, there aren't many people... Oof, I was looking for the goal again, Foden there, from directly from the corner, and Areola palms it over. I'll tell you what, there aren't many players I would put up against Haaland in a fight, who I think could win in a fight. Soufal, he's having him. No, not a doubt in my mind. Soufal is having Haaland. There's not even a single moment of doubt in my mind. I'd be interested to see who Alvarez is going to come on for. De Bruyne takes it again, looking in towards Haaland at the back post. Areola again comes out swinging and missing. He's really struggling. The last couple of corners, he's come out every single time and flapped at it, completely missing. He's usually not bad at... I don't know if he's bad at... I wouldn't say he's bad at claiming corners or anything, but he can usually come out and just punch him and stuff. He's moving a bit weird. Palace are now 5-0 up. What the heck? What the heck? I'm going to get another corner here. This is slightly behind now. Because the NIITS not quite in. Is he going to go in again? There we go. It's accurate now. Whips in once more. Headed away this time from Kurt Zuma. Head tennis again once more. Lands at Haaland's feet. Into the path of Akanji. Back to Haaland. Claret shirts everywhere. And it's going to be yet another corner. What are my plans for the summer? We want to go away at some point. We haven't decided where. We also haven't decided when, but that's something we want to do. We'll have to figure that out. I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to be working on my own channel, A Top Lad, a lot more. That's why I wanted to start streaming. I streamed last week, did Elden Ring. I'm going to start doing that a lot more because I want to do video game stuff on there. I want to have fun. That's something I want to do. And I still haven't decided. I'm going to stream tomorrow at 7, but I just haven't decided what to stream yet. So I'm going to do that a bit. We're going to go on holiday a bit. Watch the Euros, obviously. Yeah, I haven't really decided. What about you? What are you thinking? What's the vibe, FPB? Whipped in again, looking for a goal once more, and Areola collects it on the line. Tell you what, if there was ever about seven corners in a row, which made me feel like Areola's not confident from corners, it was those. I've never really thought about it before, but Jesus Christ. So has Alvarez come on yet? Doesn't feel like he's come on. Oh, Brentford have got 2 back. Brentford 2, Newcastle 3. Madness. So City are going to do a sub as well. Dalot scored for Manchester United as well. So a Kanji for Ake. Is Ake really that much shorter than a Kanji? Crazy. I always thought it was bigger than that. And Emerson for Alvarez. So James Ward-Prowse left wing is what I'm assuming. James Ward-Prowse left wing is my assumption then. Also just realized Antonio has 2 O's. Antonio. That's where we are. Interesting. I guess that would put James Ward-Prowse at left wing. Or does Paquetá move out there and then James Ward-Prowse becomes the 10? If that's the idea, bad times. Bad times. Still got to beat the horse guy. Yeah, I'll beat the horse guy eventually. I'll defeat the horse guy and it'll be an incredible moment in my life. The horse guy was too difficult though. That boss, easy, light work. Horse guy, just a mess. I spoke to Andromeda and she was like, oh. She was like, the horse guy's there to troll you. And I'm like, no, I'm going to beat the horse guy. I'm going to beat the horse guy. Whether it's on stream or not, I don't know, but I'm going to beat the horse guy. Again, would like to see Earthy at some point. I'm seeing Alvarez deep, James Ward-Prowse central, Paquetá on the left. Yeah, we've moved Paquetá out onto the left-hand side. It's a shame. I liked that sub, but we didn't really get to see it in action as much as I would have hoped. So sort of go back to maybe a situation where we can try and make that left-hand side that little bit more effective. And then hopefully that can drag people away from Kudus, I guess, would be the idea. It's a shame, really, if I'm being honest. I personally think it's very bad, Scott. I can't lie to you. I personally think it's horrendous. I think we always go on about Alvarez with a lovely late season challenge on Phil Foden there. Tries to pick him up. Phil Foden kicks off about it, so he just leaves him on the floor. It was an awkward touch, and then he just goes bundling into Phil Foden. You love to see it. It's not that deep. Phil Foden's going to make a big meal of it, like he's been hurt emotionally. Yeah, I personally think it's bad. That's why I don't want Manchester City to win. I think it's a bit crap that the biggest team can come in and spend all of the money and then just win everything. Like, I think they're like, I like their fans, Manchester City fans. I like their manager. I like a lot of their players, but just it's the club structure itself I'm not keen on. And I think we sit around and pontificate and, oh, look at this Farmers League. Oh, Germany's not good because Bayern Munich win all the time. Oh, isn't this league poor because PSG win all the time? And we sit there and think about it. City don't not win the Premier League. I don't think we can sit and say anything about any other league. That's my personal opinion on the matter. I think it's a bit ridiculous, which is kind of why I didn't want Manchester City to win the league. But, you know, Foden takes the free kick, hits the side netting, get in the bin. Not happening, mate. Not going to lie, I've started to dislike Foden today. It's specifically today as well. I think he's a great player, but there's something about the way he's acting today. It's just pissing me off. which I shouldn't want because we're going into an England tournament here where I want him to be as good as humanly possible. But there's something about it which is pissing me off. I'm telling you, David, he commentates the moments, not the match. Doku does brilliantly there, by the way, taking it round this man. Curtis picks up the ball. Go with it. Stretch your legs, bro. He gets hounded out and he takes it past two of them and then takes it past another. Kudus is so good. Bro, they've been told to hound Kudus like as much as they could. He picked up the ball. Bro went with it. Unreal player. Unreal player. I'm excited for at least one more season of Mohamed Kudus. He won't leave this summer. Next summer, I don't know. He might be a bit in trouble, but he won't leave this summer. And that's a very exciting prospect of Kudus next season. Here you go. Picks up the ball again. Just try and take the ball forward. Nice cross-field pass. Mikel Antonio's lack of ball control means Manchester City can now come across on the counter. De Bruyne. Down to Foden. No, to Bernardo Silva. Good tackle from Edson Alvarez. Apparently it's a free kick. And ladies and gentlemen, Edson Alvarez picks up a yellow card. Final one of the season for the boy. You got to see it. You got to love it. Oh, that I'm all for, Malk. That I'm all for. Look, here's the thing. We can't stop Manchester City winning the Premier League. It's just going to happen. It will probably happen next season. Guess what? It will probably happen the season after that as well. But listen, if they can, if they just face justice for the financial cheating that they have done, then I'm fine with it. I still don't want them to win, but I'm fine with it. You know. But if that's the situation, I would take that. Don't think that was by the way. I think Alvarez won the ball. Dave's saying it there. I agree. I think Alvarez won the ball, but yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's something about him that's just pissing me off today, and it doesn't usually bother me that much. You know? I love it. Like I watch what's his name? French striker on loan at Brentford at the moment from Everton. I want to say Nicky Maynard. It's not Nicky Maynard. What is his name? Neil Mopai. That's why I want to say it was NM. Like, I love watching him. And he's a prick. And I love watching him. But the sack about Foden today is just pissing me off. De Bruyne on the ball. Plays it out wide to Bernardo Silva. Looking to play their way into the box. Again, they're just taking their time here. And to be honest, with 13 minutes to go, it's not going to happen if we're being honest. Like, I think if we were to score a goal, it would be, I don't want to say lucky, but like tired players at this point. We've seen ourselves fight to the end this season. Maybe I'm being a bit negative, to be fair. We've seen ourselves fight towards the end of games this season. There's no reason why we couldn't do it here and maybe nick another goal. Can we nick two? It seems unlikely. But, you know, if we nick another, we could nick another. It's the tram lines. What are you, 12? Maybe. Also, I want to say, when I saw the word tram lines, my brain went, trampoline. Trampoline. I flipping love that Simpsons joke. I just, my brain instantly misread it. I am Homer is what I'm saying. I'm even wearing yellow right now. I am Homer. I ain't got a problem with the haircut. I just, it's an essence that I'm not keen on. You know? Something ethereal. Who was it? It just went down there under a touch. Out wide to the left-hand side, Manchester City. Doku with the ball, looking to take on Sofal. Decides to go backwards instead. Oh, Dave, I've just realised it's in the top corner. I thought I said it out loud. Oh, Dave. It's disgraceful of me, sir. Where is it? It's changed now. It's correct, Dave. I just realised what you meant about, I thought I'd said it out loud and I probably also got it wrong out loud. I apologise, Dave. APGW, subscribe if you haven't already. My bad, sir. My bad. Bernardo Silva cuts inside, hits it way over the bar. I apologise. I've just realised what you meant. I completely didn't even begin to think that the top would be incorrect. Got any else? It should be Hamsterdam, not Hamster Fam as well. So I've messed that one up as well. The rest might be correct. I can't see any other. Schizo, I've put too many S's on. Okay, now I think they're all correct. Dave, I apologize. I'm a dumbo. I'm a dumb boy. Dave, I apologize. I apologize. Oh, honestly, that's genuinely incredible. It's genuinely incredible. We deserve a bell for that. Listen, if the people vote for the bell, I'd happily put a bell poll up. That's disgraceful from me, Dave. I apologize. Rodri on the ball, laying it back to Walker as they're just passing it around. Got 10 plus minutes to go. 10 minutes plus stoppage time. Laid into Haaland. Trying to play the ball forward. He drops deep to get involved. Kevin De Bruyne to Haaland. He's offside, surely. Yeah. The fact that the commentator has, in the 80th minute, only just... Oh, George Earthy's coming on. Has only just mentioned that we have nothing to play for in this game. Shows kind of where the framing of the match was, if we're being perfectly honest. It's a little bit annoying, a little bit disgraceful. But there we go. Mikel Antonio coming off for George Earthy now. Fair play, Mikel Antonio. He's had a rough game. He's got a decent couple of games towards the end of the season. Had a little bit of a rough one on a difficult game today. But on comes George Earthy. You love to see it. You love to see it. Scored his goal last week. I would love to see him involved in this one heavily. Maybe again a situation where Kudus or Paquetá take up that central spot. Nice little play into the behind for Souček. Yeah, I think Paquetá's moving into the central area. George Earthy taking up space on the left. That seems to be where we're at. Where's Bowen? I just got in. Tonsillitis. It's tonsillitis. Yeah, Williams just said it there. Yeah, he's got tonsillitis, so he can play today. Came out earlier today that he got it. I've turned the commentary off and I'm listening to Charlie. Swindon, thank you. Very kind. Oh, Doku hits the side netting. Thank you, Swindon. It's very kind of you. And I apologise. Doku again cutting on the inside. Hitting it, takes a big deflection off Sufal. It's going to be a corner. Big old deflection. Pep will want to buy him since he's playing. Don't put Earthy on. Pep will want to buy him once he sees him play. Yeah, just give us a lot of money. You can have him. Give us a lot of money. You can have him. Just like you can give us a lot of money for Paquetá. Have to be a lot as well because he's homegrown and club trained. Whipped in, punched away from Areola, unconvincingly. Doku on the ball. Oh, nice turn from Doku. Does brilliantly. And the end product was completely missing, but the turn was beautiful. Kudus being literally pushed around by two separate Manchester City players. We somehow managed to get it away. Nice first time ball. The idea of the first time pass was nice. James Ward-Prowse, I think it was, who just couldn't quite find the accuracy. Lucas Paquetá, foul against Kevin De Bruyne. Manchester United gone 2-0 up against Brighton. Højlund gets another goal. 7 minutes left of the game. 7 minutes left of the game. You're not wrong, Richie. You're not wrong. I was listening to that. I don't particularly like the High Performance podcast, personally. I think Jake Humphries is a good presenter, but on the podcast, I don't know why there's something about the High Performance podcast I've just never got on with. But I was listening to his interview on there, and he spoke about feeling great. The last time he felt really good on the pitch was when he came back last time from injury, and I'm like, he does always seem to come back, play amazingly, and then drop off again, doesn't he? I mean, he's just old, isn't he? It just is what it is. Kevin De Bruyne to take the free kick. Basically a deep corner from the corner quadrant. Whipping it in. Header from Haaland. Goes wide. Strongly agree, Herpy. Why am I not on the pitch? I'm big at least. I could block. Just put me in, instead of like James Ward-Prowse, in that sort of defensive position. And I'll tell you what, I'd block more. There would be a lot of deflections off me. Why is Casey Mubama not on? I'd like to see Mubama, but Casey I wouldn't want to see today. It'd just be unfair. Putting Casey on against Manchester City when they're looking to try and win the league, it just wouldn't be fair putting Casey on in that game. It'd just be harsh on him. But Mubama I'd like to see him. I'd like to have seen. But his rankings, his level in the squad have dropped off significantly since the first 2-3 months of the year. He's just disappeared. Brilliant podcast. Listened to it last night. Yeah, this is the thing. I don't usually like it, but I thought it was a really interesting listen. To be fair, hasn't sounded like a dick. I know. Yeah, I didn't know you got divorced either. I didn't know about that either. To be honest, is this Moyes' last game? Amanda, it is Moyes' last game. Yes, confirmed. Confirmed. He will be gone after this game. Manchester City passing the ball around, as you would expect. What's the? Let me open up SofaScore quickly. Let's have a look at the percentages. What's the possession stat? Doku does well, drifts inside. Oh, Zuma with a bit of craziness there. Ends up being played away. 75-25. We've had 21% possession. We've had more possession than I thought we've had. I mean, that's not good, but it's it's better than we thought. What manager are we getting? It'll be Lopetegui. He's as far as I am aware, he has signed his contract. It's just not publicly been announced yet. But I suspect it will be, and my gut says it probably will be in the next couple of days. Danny Ings coming on again, another prime example of how low down Mubama's role in the club has happened. Danny Ings coming on, so therefore we won't score for the rest of the game, because Danny Ings in this is even worse. in this role is even less his vibe. And Ings for Lucas Paquetá. Danny Ings coming on there. Eric, sir, good to see you. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. How are things, bro? Yeah, so as we come to the end of this game, a couple of things to say. First one is thank you. It is, of course, last watch along of the Premier League season, last game of the Premier League season. We've got 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. So I massively appreciate you all. If you've been here at all, if you've watched 30 seconds of this stream, or if you've watched every single second of all the watch alongs, put us on the ball, takes his way inside the area. Gets a little, don't know, I think it might be a corner. Yeah, it's corner. Getting a little glitch on my end. But yeah, massive thank you. I'll be honest with you. It's been a long season. It's been a difficult season. So I appreciate you, whether you've been here, like I said, for 30 seconds just now, or for every second of every watch along. I massively appreciate you. It's been a wild season. Kurt Zuma lurking in the box as the corner comes in. Well, it's not played in yet. Ball gets whipped in. Deflects. We scored. I don't even know how. It just sort of seemed to go in. Thomas Souček. I heard the word handball, and there's barely any reaction from the commentators, who seem to just assume that it's a handball. I guess it will go to VAR. I didn't see it, but the way commentators spoke about it. Yeah, no, it will be. Hits off Thomas Souček's hand, goes in. It won't count. But yeah. Yeah, look, you lot are ahead of me. No goal. Yeah, clean handball. Yeah, the header comes off Mavropanos, and Thomas Souček running inwards. It just deflects off his hand. That's why he barely celebrated. We didn't get the classic Thomas Souček helicopter spin or anything. But yeah, handball. Yeah, massive thank you. I think we're probably doing them. Or it seems we are doing them. I'm not entirely certain, but I believe we're doing them. But yeah, I like I said, I've said this the last 2 seasons at the end of the season, but it's a massive privilege to be able to do these things. When we first came up with the idea of starting to do them, we weren't really planning on it. It was during lockdown when we thought football was going to come back, and me and Geo sat down and spoke about it. We were like, watch-alongs could be a thing we should try doing because, you know, we can't go to games, so why don't we try them? And Geo said, I don't want to do it. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then me and young Tom did it for a while. And once young Tom left in December 2020, it was very difficult for a while. It was really, really difficult for a while to do them. But they've become like my thing on the channel, and it's nice to see like so many people in this chat. I see every single game or most games, and it's so nice of you to be able to do this because it makes watching the game so much better. You know, I've said about it before. I got raised. I don't come from a West Ham family. Like my dad was a West Ham fan, but it wasn't like anyone else in my family was a West Ham fan. And when my dad passed away when I was 15, I didn't really have anyone to do West Ham stuff with. I'd go to games occasionally with my mum. I bought a season ticket when I had a full-time job and just went to games by myself and stuff. And so to have this like little community who not only get involved with watch-alongs and we all sit and chat, but also will back the stupid stuff that we end up doing is really, really genuinely super nice. And it's a massive privilege to be able to do this. And I just wanted to say thank you because Arsenal just scored again. That's either one of the best assists I've ever seen from Odegaard or a complete mishit. Kovacic is going to come on for Manchester City in the meantime, but it's 2-1 to them. Phil Foden comes off and Kovacic is coming on. But yeah, so thank you. I don't know what's happening next season. That's all next season's problem. Me and Joe are going to have a conversation about it. That's all next season's thing to do. But thank you. During the summer, I'm going to be doing probably the Euros, and then obviously on my channel, A Top Lad, I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff. Follow me on Twitter. I'll talk about it there. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow on my channel at 7 p.m. Don't know what. I'll figure it out. We'll find out together. But yeah, and also, we'll have 5 minutes of out of time. One last thank you to Dave APGW. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Wally. Thank you, Digital. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Hamsterdam. Apologies for misspelling your name as well. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Digital again. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Schizo. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, NH. We massively, massively appreciate you all. And those don't just help me, they help everyone on the channel. And listen, just because the season's over doesn't mean we will. We've obviously got a new manager coming in, new signings. We're going to be here all summer. The season might be over for West Ham, but there's still going to be tons of stuff happening on Ham's chat. So subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. But yeah, thank you. Thank you, Eric. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Thank you, Kez. I haven't looked, but I assume other people said yes. I apologize if I missed you. Lassie, thank you. Atlas, thank you. Thank you. The Hammer's chat man on the channel. Thank you very much. We should do that. Should we do a season thing? Should we do season 1 now? Very quickly. We've got 3.5 minutes left. Thank you. Oh, and of course, to the incredible moderator, Dean. If you haven't already, follow Dean on Twitter, Dean Marshall, Dean R. Marshall. I can't remember which one it is. I always forget. Graphic designer and DJ extraordinaire. I'm sure the ISO mix, the first one of the summer, is going to be huge. Check Dean out if you haven't already. But let's do it. Let's do the Hammer's chat player of the season. Let's, like, obviously today's game, we could pick a man or match, but we don't tend to do it when we lose. So let's do player of the season. Get your vote in, and whoever gets the most amount of votes as I click through them will win the Hammer's chat player of the season, Hammer of the Year award. Who you vibing? Amanda, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say. Without Scott here, without Madman of York here, someone has to say it. Thank you. It's very kind of you. You're wrong. You're very wrong, but I'll take the compliment. Thank you. Who is your Hammer of the season? I can't lie. I'm very much looking forward to getting in and talking about Lopetegui and all the new signings. There's a vibe about it, you know. Covenant, of course. Listen. The Baby Bells, of course. Shout out. I will eventually get sponsored on. I'll try. It will happen. Thank you, Shamrock. Let's have a look. With just over 3 minutes to go. Who we got? We got Bowen, Earthy, Bowen, Dean Marsh, legend of the game. Strongly agree. Bowen, Areola, Sufau, player of the season, Bowen. And how much chat player of the season? Bowen, hands down. Bowen, Phillips. Bowen, Areola, more man and match performances, says Tofa. To be fair, I think other people might agree with you on that one as well. Areola, see, for example, Wally, my liege, says Areola. Kudus or Alvarez, Bowen / Areola. Sean, thank you. And yeah, also, if you can in chat, Thank Dean as well for doing it. And if you've ever used the watch alongs, if you ever clicked on the links in the Discord, make sure to thank Ben and Ginge and people over there who do that hard work as well. Claire, thank you, very kind of you to say. I'll take it. Bowen, Ariola or Bowen says Serious Gaming. Ariola, Bowen, Phillips. Appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate you. Bowen, Cornet, Sad. Listen. Maybe next year will be his year. I doubt it, but maybe. Ariola, Kudus, Bowen. It feels like it's between Bowen and Ariola, doesn't it? Bowen, Ariola, because his wife's got... Listen, Ariola's wife is running wild. Me? Come on, Dave. Thank you. APGW. I'm just going to keep saying it out loud. Eventually you'll get there. Bowen. I tell you what, because I can't quite tell who it is, whether it's Ariola or Bowen. DeVito, thank you very much. We'll give it to a joint Ariola-Bowen. I think Bowen probably gets it, but I don't know exactly. So thank you very much. Jared Bowen and Ariola are winning the joint Hammers Chat Player of the Season, Hammer of the Year awards. And thank you all. We're a couple of moments away. We're a couple of moments away from full-time and a Manchester City Premier League title win. There will be, of course, another... There will be a live match review with Geo, which I'm getting the link for just now. There's loads of fans ready to storm the pitch. Manchester City players are literally begging them to move back. Bernardo Silva's fuming with him, by the way. He's screaming. Haaland, they're literally loads of the Manchester City players are going across and just telling them to move back. Ban them, forfeit the match. Imagine that. I'm here for it. Let's technicalities. Default. I'm here for it. Header onward from Danny Ings. Can't get there. And there is the full-time whistle. Manchester City 3, West Ham United 1. Manchester City win another Premier League. And it's the end of the season for us and the end of David Moyes' reign. The new beginning begins anew tomorrow. But there we go. Thank you very much to everyone for watching the watch-alongs this season. But the content doesn't end there. I've just used the word content. I hate my life. I am currently spamming a link to the live match review. Make sure to get in there, like the video, because Geo helped you out a massive amount. Thank you once more to everyone who has watched, and thanks once more for the last time to NH, to Lewis, to Tom, to Schizo, to Sam, to Digital Nomad, to Susan, to Brian, to Amsterdam, to Chuck, to Digital Nomad again, to my liege Wally, and to Dave, aka APGW, for all your super chats. Massively appreciate you all. Go ahead, speak to Geo in the live match review, and I'll probably see you tomorrow morning, I guess, for the debrief, and we move from there. Appreciate you all. See you later on. Bye.